Dhammaya, Namo Sanghaya, Namo Gurubhye, Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dhammaya, Namo Sanghaya, Namo Gurubhye, Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dhammaya, Namo Sanghaya, Namo Triratnaya, Sangye Cheta Sogi Chonamla, Janchu Batu Tani Kyasuchi, Taki Jin Sogi Pesonahanki, Drola Penchi Sangye Drupasho, Sangye Cheta Sogi Chonamla, Janchu Batu Tani Kyasuchi, Taki Jin Sogi Pesonahanki, Drola Penchi Sangye Drupasho, Sangye Cheta Sogi Chonamla, Janchu Badu Dani Kyasuchi, Taki Jin Sogi Pesonahanki, Drola Penchi Sangye Drupasho. Semchen tamche dewa tan dewe gyudan dempa gyuchi. Semchen tamche dunya dan dunya gi gyudan drawa gyuchi. Semchen tamche dunya mepe dewa dami drawa gyuchi. Semchen tamche nyeri jadani dan Trawe tam nyon la nepa gyuchi, semchen tamche lusen gidu nele, so shin trayu lusen dewata tempa gyuchi, semchen tamche NgalSo tochi china nochu, koyu danshin sangmane gyuchi, semchen tamche dansa bulingi kedo, tada chinan ki shide tang duku dempa gyuchi. Tamche du ni sa shita se mala sohome patan la tiltanya bedurye rashi jam pohone gyuchik la tami chupese no su sham tahani ki truku san chutri laname nanke kangu kyau gyuchi. Om Namo Bhagavate Benza Sawa Pramadani Tathagataya Ahate Samya Sambuddhaya Tayata Om Benze Benze Maha Benze Mahatetsa Benze Mahavidya Benze Mahabodhicitta Benze Mahabodhi Mandropa Samkramana Benze Sawakama Awarana Vishuddhana Benze Soha Kuncho Sungi Tempatang Sangye Tang Janchu Sempa Tam Che Ki Jingi Lap Tang So Nihon Su So Pe Na Dan Chempo Dan Choki Nampa Dashin Sangi Mikya Pe Togi Deshin Nidu Gyuchi Malusem chen kun ki kun kyu chi du de pun je mi ze jom se la no na malu yanda ken gyu pe chom den ko che ne di she su so go san gyu pe go ne cha se lo no sha yi tro chu pa malu bu Tome ne sa di tun tam che sha, ke pa ge wahanam la je yirang, ko wa ma to ba tu le shu ne, dro la chu ki ko lo ko wa tang, da shen che na jan chu chen po no. Sashi ki jushi meto tram rirali jihini de genpadi Sangye shintu mite buwagi Drukunanda shinla chupasho Idam Guru Ratna Mandala Kam Niryatayami Lama Gyalwa Shakya Tupala Chatselo Chutu Kyapso Chiwo Jingi Laptu So Losan Gyalwa Kungi Yesheni Chitu Tri Mehegel Tenzin Peso Rajan Kilko Gyaso Trudungun Trinchen la mehesha shabla sowade Om a Guru Vajradara Sumati Gyana Shasana Dara Samudra Sibhadra Sawasiti Hu Om a Guru Vajradara Sumati Gyana Shasana Dara Samudra Sibhadra Sawasiti Hu Om a Guru Vajradara Sumati Gyana Shasana Dara Samudra Sibhadra Sawasiti Hu Luchu Sampo Pel Gyuta Shipa Tup Chen Tem Pehetin Leya Noda Pegedro Lo Sampe Sepa Chen Pel Den La Mehesha Bla Sowade Oma Guru Vajradhara Sumahati Muni Shahasahane Kama Uttavadanye Sri Bahadra Vasamahanya Sawasiti Mama Guru Vajradhara Suhumahati Muni Shahasahane Kama Uttavadanye Sri Bahadra Vasamahanya Sawasiti Mama Guru Vajradhara Suhumahati Muni Shahasahane Kama Uttavadanye Sri Bahadra Vasamahanya Sawasiti Pakya Kekudan Dagilu Pakya Kesundahadagina Pakya Ketudan Dagi Tunyemechi Tujingialo Makya Kekudan Dagilu Makya Kesundahadagina Makya Ketudan Dagi Tunyemechi Tujingialo Amuni Amuni Mahamuni Shakyamuni Soha Amuni Amuni Mahamuni Shakyamuni Soha Amuni Amuni Mahamuni Shakyamuni Soha Om Maitreya Maitreya Maha Maitreya Arya Maitreya Soha Om Maitreya Maitreya Maha Maitreya Arya Maitreya Soha Om Maitreya Maitreya Maha Maitreya Arya Maitreya Soha Om Ahum Karuna Karuna Mahakaruna Arya Karunaye Soha Om Ahum Karuna Karuna Mahakaruna Arya Karunaye Soha Om Ahum Karuna Karuna Mahakaruna Arya Karunaye Soha. Okay, good morning, buongiorno. Se c'è qualcuno che ha bisogno di cuffia, per favore, prendele. Yeah? Anybody who needs headphones in Italian, please take. No? I will speak in English, parlerò in inglese. Per cui qualcuno, Maria Cristina farà fantasticamente la traduzione in italiano. So, se avete bisogno della cuffia, no? Gentilmente Maria Cristina sta con noi di aiutarle. Yeah? Okay? So anyway, so good morning everybody. Yes? No, the sadhana is in Italian, yeah? Okay? Yes. Or maybe we should do it the other way around, I don't know. Maybe put it in English, yeah? Okay, maybe we'll put it in English because Maria Cristina, Super Maria Cristina, does everything, yeah? No? Okay, thank you. Okay, so anyway, so today we're going to continue with the explanation of Lama Ganchen Rinpoche, beautiful rainbow of medicine nectar, practice of the 7 medicine Buddhas. So beautiful, yeah? Okay. This mandala here actually is on the roof of our temple of health. Hello, Rinpoche. Hi, hello. So this mandala here is on the temple of in our mandala hall here, it's on our roof actually, yeah? So beautiful. This is we call the Sudarshana, the beautiful to behold pure land of medicine Buddha, yeah? Okay. Yesterday I put another image, yeah? Where inside of in our sadhana there's an extensive explanation that explains there's the medicine Buddha who holds the principal energy of healing, the 7 medicine Buddhas, and then all the rishi, all the holy beings who are connected with healing, okay? If you remember from yesterday. And then around are the medicine gardens, yeah? From where all the plants from which we make medicines come from, okay? So we talked about that yesterday anyway, this beautiful image, yeah? If you want a copy of that, you can, on our online shop, you're welcome, yeah? Okay? Anyway, so please, can you go on to, Kami, can you go on to where we got to? We did the preliminaries up to the description of the mandala, yeah? Okay? Okay. I'll tell you where, yeah? Okay? Okay, this we just did, no? Very important, very beautiful, yeah? Okay? Okay? Okay, so this we talked about yesterday. So there's the description of the mandala of Sudarshana, the pure land of the medicine guru. Okay, we went to the end of that. Okay, yeah, to the end of this bit part. Yeah, that's where it stopped. That's where I think this is where we got. Yeah, this is where we got to. Okay. So it says, okay, Maria Cristina, it's on page. I can't see, but anyway, this page. Yeah. So it says, please, Supreme Healer Shakyamuni Buddha, who manifests the 7 medicine Buddhas, bless me to transform all my negative personal and planetary energy into the positive, dependent arising attitude of taking care of and positively cherishing myself and other beings, the environment and the planet. Please help me to heal society, the planet and myself. Please help me to begin this great challenge of global transformation, okay? So beautiful, yeah? Okay. So that's where we got to yesterday, okay? So yesterday, we were talking a little bit about the day before yesterday, I was talking a little bit about how the origins of Tibetan medicine, and the tradition of the medicine Buddha in Tibet, which has now come down to us through the lineage of great masters up to the present day, yeah? So yesterday, we didn't do the course because actually we had a very important day in the Tibetan Buddhist calendar, which is called Zamling Chisang, yeah? So what that is actually is the festival remembering when Guru Padmasambhava brought Buddhism to Tibet, yeah? So in the 8th century, which is actually a very long time ago, for us it's like the Vikings actually, but anyway, a really long time ago, just to put it into perspective, yeah? The great Indian Mahasiddha, great master Padmasambhava, was invited by the Tibetan king Trison Detsen, yeah? He was invited to bring the Dharma, to bring Buddhism to Tibet, yeah? Okay? So yesterday was the festival remembering when Guru Padmasambhava, he converted, let's say, he brought Buddhism into Tibet, and to do that he had to make peace with many, many different kinds of elemental energies and spiritual forces that existed already in Tibet, yeah, okay? So he did that, yeah? He made peace with all the devas, the shining ones, the gods, yeah? And he founded what's called Samye Monastery, which is the first important monastery in Tibet, yeah? So yesterday was actually the festival of that, yeah? So since then, every year we remember this special event, yeah? And also it's like kind of like all the gods' day, actually, yeah? Zamling Chisang, so we make thank you offerings and smoke offerings to all the devas, of which we have many, yeah, okay, in Tibetan Buddhism, many, yeah, many positive forces helping us, yeah, so we were doing that yesterday, yeah. So as it happens, yeah, this is a good point to continue the explanation of Medicine Buddha, because actually it was King Trisong Detsen who invited not only Guru Padmasambhava to Tibet, but also one great Pandita, Indian master, called Shantarakshita, okay, yeah. So Shantarakshita, who was a great Indian master from one of the famous Indian Buddhist monasteries, not sure which one, but anyway, he was the abbot of one of those. He brought the tradition of Medicine Buddha to Tibet, yeah, and not only that, actually, he basically founded the way that we all practice Buddhism now, yeah. Because there's different traditions of Buddhism. Buddhism is obviously a world religious tradition. So there's different point of views from different cultures, yeah? So already in the 8th century of the modern era, there were obviously different points of view, because Buddhism was already like 1,600 years old at that time, yeah? So there was the Indian way of practicing, which is what we call the gradual path, which means bit by bit, we need to get many, many experiences, yeah, okay? So we call like the gradual path to enlightenment. So, okay, so I get a wonderful meditation experience, yeah, that's fantastic. But then I need to get another one, a deeper one, because why? Because my mind, I need to have many, many levels of things to clean in my mind, yeah, okay? Like we would say these days, my subconscious is very deep and I have many things to heal, no, okay? So therefore we do again and again and again the practice, and even if we get one wonderful experience, that's fantastic, but we need many, many, yeah, okay? This is the Indian point of view, the gradual path, yeah? So when they constructed Samye Monastery, yeah, one of the first things that King Trisong Detsen did, he said, okay, let's decide what kind of Dharma we're going to practice here in Tibet. So he invited the different masters from the Buddhist world. So he invited Chan masters from China, yeah? And he invited the Indian masters, particularly Shantarakshita from India. So they had a spiritual debate, yeah? Which approach was suitable for Tibet. So anyway, so the Indian master Shantarakshita, he won the debate, yeah? So ever since then in Tibet, this gradual path approach, like the Indian way, has been followed in Tibet, yeah, okay? So anyway, and he also, okay, so then they start with what became, Tibetan Buddhism. Actually, that time was actually the beginning of what's called the Nyingmapa tradition, the ancient ones, very holy, high tradition of Tibetan Buddhism, and then gradually came out the different lineages over the centuries. We actually belong to let's say the last one, the Gelugpas, yeah, okay. But anyway, there's 4 different beautiful lineages of Tibetan Buddhism, all with great masters, enlightened masters, all very beautiful, yeah. So anyway, so Shantarakshita was the one that introduced the tradition of Medicine Buddha to Tibet. You see this mandala, this practice, the 7 Medicine Buddhas. So it wasn't something invented by Tibetan people, it came from India, okay? Okay, so anyway, so I was saying the day before yesterday, this time was actually like the kind of renaissance of Tibetan culture, like in Europe now. We had the renaissance in the 15th, 16th century, okay, yeah? So for the Tibetan culture, it was in the 8th century when they had this development of Buddhism, also of the written language, with this master called Tomi Sambota, who made the written language. So all these kind of different things, you know, came into Tibet at that time, yeah, okay? So King Trisong Detsen, he was the one who organized the medical conferences I was telling you about, where they invite the doctors from India, from China, from Persia, as far as Europe, no, the Greeks, you know, from the system of Galen, you know, the ancient Greek system where they have 4 humors, yeah? So all this came into Tibet, and all this mixed up together, the best of all this, greatest hits of all that, plus Buddhism. On top became Tibetan Buddhism medicine, yeah, on the Gushi, okay? So that's how it came about, yeah? So here, Lama Gangchen was explaining this. We have this idea that the Gushi, which is the root tantra of medicine in the Tibetan tradition, is a manifestation of the wisdom of the 5 Dhyani Buddhas, like we have here in our Temple of Heaven and Earth. We just did self-healing, right, yeah? Everything comes from one Buddha, Shakyamuni Buddha. If not, it comes from 3 Buddhas, yeah? Vairocana, Amitabha, and Akshobhya. If not, it comes from 5 Buddhas, the 5 Dhyani Buddhas, our friends, no? Vairocana, Amitabha, Akshobhya, Ranasambhava, and Amoghasiddhi, yeah? And if we get this point, everything is super easy, yeah? In Vajrayana Buddhism. If not, it's a bit complicated, yeah? We get lost in the kaleidoscope of it all, yeah? But if we understand the underlying idea, yeah? 5 fathers, 5 elements that we need to purify. Actually, it's very easy, like a beautiful kaleidoscope, yeah, of different healing energies, yeah. So anyway, King Trisong Detsen was considered an emanation of Manjusri, gentle speech, the Bodhisattva or Buddha of wisdom, okay. He was very intelligent, very smart. He did all these beautiful things for the Tibetan people and for many people up to the present day, including us, yeah. Actually, a few times, we went to Tibet with Rinpoche, and in the Jokang Temple in Tibet, they have all these kind of beautiful chapels, yeah. And I remember there's these statues of what's called the 3 Dharma kings, the 3 kings that were responsible for the Tibetan Renaissance, yeah. And they have these statues, but what's peculiar about them is they have another head on top. I remember, you know, so this king, he has the head of Manjusri on top of his head, yeah, to make it very obvious, you know, in case we had, you know, that he's supposed to be an emanation of Manjusri, okay, yeah. Anyway, so that's how it came about, okay, the medicine Buddha tradition in Tibet, yeah. Okay, then from that time onwards, it was passed down through many great healing lamas of all the, great masters, you know, down to the present day. Yeah, we have really a very rich, beautiful tradition of healing in Tibetan Buddhism. Very interesting. Yeah, one is the actual, you know, like medical side, you know, of using herbs and so on, and different kinds of therapies, like for example, our Lama Gangchen used to like very much to go to the Terme here in the mountains, yeah? And hot and cold water therapy is one of the 8 branches of medicine in Tibet, yeah? They didn't do like invasive treatments, you know, but they had a lot of like things like massage and hot and cold water. It's kind of a bit like, you know, like the Benessery thing that they have these days, you know? Yeah, so anyway, they had a very interesting tradition of non-invasive medicine that, you know, really something is truly valid and interesting, yeah? Here we're looking at the spiritual side of it, of course, yeah, okay? In the book, Medicine of Healing Nectars, if you're interested, is a summary of what's called the root tantra and the explanatory tantra of Tibetan medicine, yeah? In 93, 94, Lama Gangchen Rinpoche invited Dr. Pasang Yuntanarya, yeah, to Milano, and they founded a school of Tibetan medicine and astrology in Milano, yeah, okay? So for a few years, we had all these beautiful teachings from Dr. Pasang and also other doctors, yeah, and astrologers, yeah. And so anyway, one of the results of that is in our book, Rainbow of Healing Nectars, we have the summary of the first 2 tantras. So if you want to know what Tibetan medicine is, please just read there. More or less, okay, then of course, there's many, the theory is there, you know. Okay, but then there's many, practical applications. Like, for example, if I have, I don't know, asthma, what am I going to do? Actually, there's a lot. Okay, then there's 2 other tantras, yeah, which explain practically how to treat people, okay? But the basic idea is in the Rainbow of Nectar book, which is in English, Italiano and Espanol, okay, I think. I don't know if we have any other languages, but it's in our shop if you're interested. You're very welcome, yeah, okay? Okay, so that was a little bit, we talked a little bit about the mandala of the medicine Buddhas, yeah, okay? And a little bit of the history and the gushi, okay? So then it starts here, page, can't see the number, but anyway, visualization, yeah? So the main, actually, figure of the mandala of healing is Guru Buddha Shakyamuni Tubwang Tendralma, yeah, okay? Yeah, why is the main figure Buddha Shakyamuni? Because Buddha Shakyamuni is the founder of all the healing traditions of Buddhism, okay? So before Prince Siddhartha, yeah, okay? He was, let's say, a Renaissance man in ancient India. So when he was a prince, yeah, he studied Vedic mathematics and grammar and poetry and medicine and astrology and yoga and martial arts and all sorts of things, okay? Like everything there was to study in his music, you know, everything, yeah? Okay? They say there's like 64 arts to become a Renaissance person in ancient India, so he was like master of all these, yeah? And improved it when he was in his wedding competition, no? When he was getting married, no? He had to like compete with scholars and sport people and all that, yeah? Anyway, so he was already like a Renaissance man, okay? Yeah? Siddhartha actually means the man who has who's realized all Artha. Artha does not mean like King Arthur, yeah? It means Artha in Sanskrit means all kinds of material well-being and success, actually, in Sanskrit, yeah? So translated, Siddhartha means the man who has everything, basically, yeah? Who's kind of the successful guy, okay? Okay, but then, of course, as we know, he understood, you know, that all of us, we face the suffering of aging, sickness, and death, and he realized that all these wonderful things he knew were of no help whatsoever, yeah? So then he left the palace and sought self-knowledge, yeah? Okay? And finally, after 6 years meditating, he became the awakened one, the Buddha, yeah? Okay? Yeah. So, Lord Buddha, yeah? His first official teaching was the Four Noble Truths, okay, yes, we know, yes. In Varanasi, he taught the Four Noble Truths, there's suffering, there's a cause of suffering, it's possible to achieve nirvana, the state of peace, and there's a way to do it, okay? That's the first cycle of the Buddhist teachings, of the Dharma. Second cycle is the Prajnaparamita, which is the Buddha's actual idea, yeah, to free the mind. And the third cycle of teachings was the one at Vaishali, when Lord Buddha Shakyamuni actually started to teach about medicine, yeah? So that's when he explained about the medicine Buddhas, okay? Yeah? So, on the crown of Buddha Shakyamuni, Tubwang Tendralma. Tubwang means Shakyamuni in Tibetan, okay? It's very easy, yeah? Okay? We use Tibetan because our teachers, our masters were Tibetan, and we like to keep the blessing, the feeling, yeah? Okay, Tendralma. Tendral means interdependence, yeah? So it's the one who understood interdependence, because there's all kinds of beautiful religions and philosophies in the world, and they are all beautiful, it's true, yeah? All have love, all have empathy, all have wish to take care of the environment, all wish to evolve and so on. But what we have that the other ones don't have truly is the idea of Tendral, of interdependence. This is what sets Buddhism apart, yeah? This kind of like somewhat scientific view, you know, understanding that things depend on causes and conditions, everything's a process, and if we could see how things work clearly and do the right thing, everything would be okay. But our problem is we can't see clearly, and we do the wrong thing because we don't know what to do, yeah? Okay? So this is the great kindness of Lord Buddha Shakyamuni, is to help us to get in touch with that, you know, so to see clearly how things are, you know? Yeah, so anyway, so Buddha Shakyamuni, okay? Tubwang Tendralma, yeah? Okay, so now we're going to visualize, actually this is a special visualization of the medicine Buddhas. Now then it's coming like a stack of medicine Buddhas above the head of the Buddha Shakyamuni, okay? First is the medicine guru, and then there's 6 others, okay? So now we will look at who they are, yeah? So, this one I think there's no pictures, but in the other one there's pictures, yeah? Can you open the other one or not? The other day we could open it, yeah? 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 If not, we put the pictures and I explain, because pictures are more interesting to look at than writing, yeah? Okay? See if you can open that one, that Word document, Carmen. It was working yesterday, yeah? Italiano. It doesn't matter. We're going to look at the pictures, yeah? Actually, the latest version is actually Italian at the moment, yeah? Because, we have, fortunately, our NgalSo world is very big, so now we're editing in several languages at the same time, yeah? Okay. So if you go down a little bit thanks, yeah? If you go down a little bit, there's some pictures of the medicine Buddhas, yeah? Oh, we've got up, yeah? Okay, if you go, okay, a bit down, yeah? Oh, these preliminaries we already did anyway. Okay, this is the mandala of the medicine Buddha we talked about yesterday. Okay, now this is what we're going to talk about today, okay? They can make it a bit bigger, yeah? Yeah. Sorry? Okay, yeah. Okay, this is perfect, yeah, okay. This one, okay. Okay, so this is actually what we're going to talk about today, yeah? Okay. So I'll read you the text, yeah? Okay. Anyway, words is an explanation of pictures, yeah? So these days we have all this wonderful technology, all these beautiful things, yeah? Okay. So it's more easy. Lama Ganshin used to say, like sadhanas with many words is when we don't know, We have to read all the description, this and that, yeah? Okay. Okay, so the main figure is Lord Buddha Shakyamuni Buddha. Now, here in our dining room, we have this beautiful tanka that used to be in Milano. There in Milano, in Kumpangompa now, it's a tattoo wall, okay? But the original, actually, I saw now is here in the Albagnano Center. So this Buddha, like this, yeah? So behind is the tree of peace, yeah? Actually, it sounds like the tree of music, no? Like in the story of the medicine Buddha, yeah? It says in the sutra, no? Lord Buddha was in Vaisali under the tree of music. And this tree, when the wind blew through it, it was making like peace messages, yeah? So it looks like that tanka there, very beautiful, yeah? Okay. On the tree there, Rinpoche asked Ducho to paint the word peace in all the different languages in the world. I think Ducho told me he had to find it in 176 different languages, yeah? But very cool, no? So if you actually look, it's all written there in all these different languages, yeah? So it means, yeah, like peace for everybody, everything with peace, no? So Rinpoche liked a lot this figure of the Tubang Tenderalma, no? You see it's all around our center everywhere. We have 100, actually, yeah? And also in all our other centers around the world, yeah? Okay. So when Lama Ganshin came to the West, his first center actually was in Lesbos, yeah, the Greek island, yeah, and he made something called Buddha Garden. Rinpoche was totally consistent, by the way, all his life, yeah. So first thing he did was put a statue of this Tubang Tendralma healing the world under a Bodhi tree in the Buddha Garden, yeah. So now also we have a Buddha Garden here that just now we're trying to complete, no? Yeah, so he's healing the world. What's he healing the world with? Actually, with the understanding of interdependence, yeah? So I was saying the day before yesterday, Lama Tsongkhapa, when he achieved awakening, he wrote a beautiful, beautiful hymn, prayer, called Praise to Lord Buddha for Teaching Interdependence, yeah, okay? When he realized it himself, and he said, thank you so much, Lord Buddha. This is the most amazing thing anybody could share, because now I got the point, I understood, and now my mind is free, free of suffering, yeah? So maybe one of these days we look at that, yeah? So anyway, so you see his teaching, yeah? On the other hand is sending this rainbow, this rays of energy, of wisdoms and the pure elements to the world, yeah? Why? Because Rinpoche used to call it the missing part, yeah? We're missing so many different things, yeah? But principally, missing different wisdoms, and we need to recover the environment, no? Okay, so this is, anyway, so Lord Buddha Shakyamuni Tubang Tendralma, so like that, or also it can be like this, by the way, sitting down, of course, you can stand up or sit, or you can walk around, yeah, or you can sit down, yeah, meditating. But above his head is the 7 medicine Buddhas. So actually there's 8 medicine Buddhas, by the way, because Shakyamuni Buddha is the number one actually, not, yeah, okay, the principal one, Shakyamuni Buddha, yeah. Rinpoche, Genshin Rinpoche, always wanted to make this clear, that the main point was Buddha Shakyamuni, yeah, and all the rest was a kind of holographic manifestation of the energy of Lord Buddha, yeah, like our temple here. We have one central pillar, yeah, and all the rest coming out and going back in again, yeah, okay. So if all this is too much for you, Om Muni Muni Maha Muni Shakyamuni Soha, we'll be just fine, yeah, anyway. He said we can achieve enlightenment through that, yeah. But we like many things, no? We're complicated, so therefore there's many things, yeah, okay. Okay, so then, actually this picture is Ducho one, modified by our friend Helder from Brazil, yeah, okay, beautiful, no? And, okay, so above the head is, the blue one is the Sangye Menla, okay, and then there's the other medicine Buddhas, yeah, okay. So let's talk a little bit about the 7. This is the classic visualization of the Buddhas stacked up above each other like some kind of apartment block or something, yeah, okay. And then what they do is each one dissolves into the medicine Buddha and then dissolves into the main one and dissolves into us, okay, yeah. And this is like, since ancient India, that's been one important visualization, yeah, of healing of the medicine Buddhas, yeah. So it was always like that, yeah. The 7 medicine Buddhas dissolve actually going to dissolve into us, yeah. But what Lama Genshin Rinpoche made clear is that, made very explicitly clear, is that they're going to dissolve into our 7 chakras, yeah. We have many, many different chakra systems, no? 1 chakra, 3 chakras, 4 chakras, 5 chakras, 7 chakras, 100 chakras, yeah? Okay, chakra means energy wheel, no? It's a place where the energies meet within the subtle body, yeah? Okay, and the things you can actually feel, yeah? Okay? Yeah, when why we visualize them is to make the energies flow through them, yeah? Okay? So, in the, how do you say, nowadays, yeah, I think probably the 7 chakra system is the most famous one. Why? Because in yoga, no? In the yoga systems of India, they have the 7 yoga system, okay? So now almost everybody's heard of the 7 7 chakras, yeah, okay? So anyway, so this Rinpoche put the 7 medicine Buddhas in the 7 chakras, yeah, so very nice, no? Okay. So also, by the way, here we have a lot of banging, but we should think, oh good, how nice, you know, because recently I was watching one thing on Netflix, you know, about they're building some cathedral in Barcelona in the Middle Ages, okay? This used to go on for centuries, this cathedral building, and of course they used to use them. They didn't wait till it was finished, so this is our cathedral, you know, our cathedral of the ocean of mandalas. It's called the Temple of Heaven on Earth, yeah? So sorry, we couldn't wait to get in here. Since the beginning we were in here, and so of course we always had the construction around us, yeah? Yeah? Why wait, you know? Why wait to enjoy all these beautiful energies? So sorry, sometimes a little bit. Actually, it's almost finished. Today what they're doing is they're putting the floor outside, you know, on the entrance of the temple, yeah? And they're doing the bathroom, what do you call it? The sink thing of the bath. Now we have so many bathrooms, yeah? Before we have 0 bathrooms. For 20 years now we have loads of bathrooms, which is a great improvement, yeah? So now they're fitting the sinks, yeah? So we should rejoice it's only a little bit, okay? Think, oh, how nice, then I can stand on this beautiful marble entrance and I can use the beautiful bathroom. So it's all for our benefit, yeah? And any sound we think, okay, it's empty of inherent existence, it doesn't matter. Or we just think, anyway, you know, it's one teaching that to develop patience or something like that. So no problem, okay? Anyway, honestly, it's a lot better than other years, yeah? We have like enormous diggers going by, so it's already okay, you know, no problem, yeah? Okay, so what we're going to look at today is the 7 medicine Buddhas, okay? So let me put on my glass 1 second, yeah? Okay, so above the crown, Mary Christina, please, I'll read it in English, yeah? Mary Christina, please read in Italian, yeah? Above the crown of Buddha Shakyamuni Tubang Tendralma is sitting Chom Dende, that means Tathagata, the one that's gone, the one that's gone to awakening. Sangye Menla. Sangye, it means Buddha, yeah, in Tibetan, yeah. Sang means the mind is completely pure. Gye means the mind is completely open and expanded, yeah. Okay, so Buddha actually in Sanskrit means awakened, but anyway, the Tibetans, they translate like that, somebody with a pure and open mind, which means anybody can achieve one if we do the right thing. And Lord Buddha and the successive masters, they made it possible that we can do it. They didn't teach something that was so difficult that only a spiritual superstar could do. No, they show something all of us can do, which is good enough, yeah? Men in Tibetan means medicine, yeah? La means Lama or Guru, okay? So Menla means medicine guru. Buddha, medicine guru. So, yeah, this one. So above the head of Shakyamuni Buddha is the transcendent medicine guru, yeah? His body is blue, like lapis lazuli color, yeah? His right hand in the gesture of supreme generosity, now we know, like Ratnasambhava, yeah? Holds a Mirobalam plant. So not like this, actually. It looks completely different. It's an Indian gooseberry, actually, yeah? Yeah? So this plant is... do we have a bigger picture, actually, of Medicine Buddha? Maybe we'll zoom in on him, yeah? Okay, that's okay. Actually, that's fine, yeah? This is a bit later on in the sadhana. Okay, this picture is Medicine Buddha, and we actually, the original painting was made before Dinola in Torino, yeah? Actually, there's 3-4 of these paintings made by Duccio in the world, yeah, but I think this is Dino's one, I'm not sure. Anyway, and then it's modified a little bit why it's modified is because Lama Gangchen Rinpoche gave many, many instructions what he wanted to do for the visualizations, yeah? And now we have the technology to do it, yeah? What his vision, yeah? Okay. Anyway, so downwards is the Medicine Buddha, okay? Can you see in his right hand he's holding a plant, yeah? Okay, and there's like 3 kind of buds on this plant or something. This symbolizes the 3 forms of Mirobalam plant, yeah? So nowadays it's called tree phala in Ayurveda, yeah? Tree means 3 and phala means fruit, yeah? Yeah? Okay, so this tree phala actually is very good. It's easily available, and it's considered the best medicine of Ayurveda, yeah? And it's also available in Europe, so why not try, yeah? So what's good about this tree phala plant, this tree phala medicine, is it balances all the elements and all the dosha, the humors. So we have 5 elements, actually. We have space, earth, water, wind, and fire, yeah? Okay, 5 elements, yeah? And we have 3 dosha, which means wind, bile, and phlegm, or if you like Sanskrit, it's called vata, kapha, and pitta, or if you like Tibetan, it's called lung, bekan, and tripa. But anyway, 3 energies, yeah? Okay? So, Lama Gangchen, or anyway, all the healing masters, they say what we need to do is bring our 5 elements and our 3 dosha, our 3 humor into harmony, yeah? And if we do, we will be healthy and happy and have a long life. Okay, of course, eventually we will die. It doesn't stop you dying, unfortunately, but in the meantime, we will have a long, healthy life, yeah? Yeah? So we can use our precious human life in the best way if we have health, you know, because Rinpoche used to say the 5 elements are the basis of everything. If we have 5 healthy elements, we have health, we have vitality, we're not tired, we're not sick, yeah? And then we can do many things in life, whatever we want to do. If we want to, I don't know, if we want to spend our lives seeking awakening, and you know, if we want to try and make $100 billion, whatever we want to do in life, we can do. But if we health is the basis of everything, right? So very important we create the basis of health. Yeah. So this plant called Triphala Mirobalam, yeah. Actually, I don't know if we still have in the Kumpan. And I'm talking many years ago. In our altar, we used to have Rinpoche put all these plants, yeah? I'm not sure if they're now here in Albagnano or if they're in the altar of the Kumpan, but we have actually all these plants as an example because we organised an exhibition, actually, of these Tibetan medicines in Milano, yeah? Okay? Maybe they're here, I'm not sure, yeah? But anyway, so this plant, Medicine Buddha's saying, try this, no? Yeah? Basically, that's why he's holding it, yeah? I mean, he could be holding anything, couldn't he? He could be holding an orange, he could be holding an apple, he could be holding anything. But of all the plants in the world, of which there's thousands and thousands, he's holding Triphala, yeah? So just like our Prajna Paramita is holding one book, yeah, the Prajna Paramita, like of all the books in the world, read this, yeah. So the medicine Buddha is holding this plant, saying of all the medicines in the world, try this, yeah. And like I say, it's legal, it's cheap, and it's available, so why not try, yeah? Very interesting thing, yeah. So it helps us to bring us back into harmony, yeah. So it has the different tastes, actually 6 tastes, yeah, okay. And the tastes represent the elements, the doshas, yeah. So anyway, it actually tastes horrible, by the way. I'm sorry to tell you, but at least to me, to my perception, there's like capsule version and powder version. So I would recommend you get the capsule one because it tastes a lot better, yeah. The powder one, sorry to say, it tastes quite horrible, but maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm not pure enough, yeah. But they say that actually, this is true. Actually, what's interesting about this plant is as you eat it, yeah, the taste changes, you know, because it has these 6 elements inside it. Yeah, so every day it tastes a little bit different. Hello, Renata. Yeah.
Carmen was going to give you all the books
Oh,
with the
thank
new
you.
edition of the Italian,
Oh.
the Sadhana, printed it.
Thank you.
Like.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Renata. Thank you, everybody. Look, so many beautiful things. Don't go away. Look, full of beautiful things. Look, let's see what we have here. Yeah. Okay. They don't pay me for this, by the way, but I just do this because I like. Yeah, because I think it's really cool. Yeah. So we have. This is the very beautiful sadhana of Medicine Buddha and the 4 Dakini. Yeah. Okay. Okay. We have this in English, Italian, Portuguese, but here I don't know how many we have here, but anyway, this is the Italian version. Yeah, beautiful. Dhammabhadra Sadhana, short one. Lama Genshin used to do this a lot, so powerful. Oh, this is nice. This is the new version of the Arcoboleno di Nectari di Guarigione, the Rinpoche book on medicine. This is what we're talking about, we're referring to these days, yeah? So you can see here that all this is, okay, so beautiful, yeah? There's the sadhana, this one, that we're looking at now. Then there's the explanation. That's really beautiful, actually. Improved, yeah? I can see it's much nicer, yeah? There's the, thank you, Renata, that's really, really beautiful. And everybody who did that, yeah? Really nicely laid out, yeah? Upgrade, yeah? Then there's the first 2 tantras, which is the basic idea of Tibetan medicine. So useful. Actually, so many useful things, yeah? One incredibly useful thing is, Rinpoche used to say, your health is in your own hands, okay? So if you read this and put into practice what it says, you'll be much healthier, more happy, yeah? Because it explains about the 3 doshas, the 3 humours. So there's a test, yeah? There's a quiz you can do yourself, yeah? To understand what is your biotype, yeah? Then, based on that, there is a whole series of advice, like what one should eat and what one should not eat for one's dosha, one's biotype, and how one should behave, yeah? Which means, for example, if you have a lot of pitta, a lot of heat in your body, don't go out in the midsummer and sunbathe and cook yourself, yeah? I mean, it's pretty simple stuff, actually. It's not like what we call rocket science, yeah? But of course we don't do. We always do the opposite and make ourselves sick because we can't help it, yeah? Unfortunately, but there you are, yeah? So it's very useful, practical advice, yeah? Really, really useful. And if we follow this, we won't actually need to go to a doctor, yeah? Because we will take care of our own health. I mean, basically, okay, of course, we have everybody is born with some genetic problems, what we call some karmic sickness, yeah? But basically, if we all truly followed what was in here, we would be much healthier, more happy, we would save loads of money, yeah? And not need to go to doctors and therapists all the time because we would be okay, you know, basically, yeah? And even if we're not okay, this will help us to bring back into harmony, you know? So useful, this book, really. Also, there's a section on massage. What Rinpoche wanted is, I mean, obviously there's some parts of Tibetan medicine we can't do, yeah? We who are not doctors, yeah? Because, you know, like, for example, here in the West, when you go to medical school, you go to school and then you train as an intern, no? And after 5 or 7 years, you become a doctor, yeah? So it's exactly the same in Tibet, yeah? So obviously, like some parts of Tibetan medicine, like diagnosis and giving out medicines, we're not recommending that people do, yeah? But the self-help parts, which are easy, the theory are in this book, yeah? Some parts we can do, and why not, you know? Yeah? Yeah? Anyway, so Very, very, very useful, yeah? And also, actually, if we have time, we look a little bit at, I don't know if we have time this time, but we have this whole, like, massage, point therapy thing with healing oils, which is nice, we can do, yeah? Like Rinpoche, you show all the time, you like, massage, yeah, okay? Because it's one big therapy, like massage, you like going to the terme, which is another of the great healing systems of Tibet, yeah? Yeah, then we have, like, diet is one of the big healing systems. We have taking care of your behavior, meditation. We have many, many things we can do, yeah? So this book's so nice, so beautiful. And in the end, yeah, this beautiful pictures of these are called the 80 healing tankers. One day we put on the screen, not today, yeah? If you can't wait, you can go and buy your own book, yeah? So these are the images that are used in the medical schools of Tibet as like kind of visual aids, Okay, there's a lot of interesting things coming out these days about the theory of mind and consciousness and so on, yeah, okay? So now, of course, we always make new discoveries that ancient cultures already knew, and we think we're very smart, yeah? This is the feature of modern times, yeah? So nowadays they're talking a lot about the theory of mind and how to improve your brain power and all this kind of stuff and making a memory palace. So ancient cultures knew very well about this. So our memory palace, for example, here is the palace of the medicine Buddha, yeah? Okay? And what you do is to remember stuff. Like here, they knew very well in ancient India how to memorize, yeah? How to keep things in your mind without one of these, yeah? Okay? Yeah? Now we're losing this ability because we don't use, yeah? Okay? We are stunting our brains by this one and by this one, yeah? Okay? Because we don't memorize anymore, yeah? So actually, these techniques are healing the brain, actually, yeah? And one of the things that Rinpoche said in his Medicine Buddha teachings is the actual healing of the Medicine Buddha mandala is the concentration mandala, yeah? Yeah, when we can actually concentrate on the Medicine Buddha in the palace, clearly, yeah? Then the actual healing starts, yeah, okay? So anyway, so these images here in this book, yeah? You can imagine them like a display around your Medicine Buddha palace, like upstairs, no? We have that nice, like Rinpoche used to, I don't know what you call it, museum, I think, but anyway, like this audio-visual room. So we imagine like these panels, these tankers of the Medicine Buddha, and each image is incredible teaching, actually, So all the teaching of medicine you can understand through these images, yeah? So it is true, actually, that these people, like, I don't know, like, nowadays, I don't know, they have these competitions of people who can multiply huge numbers, right, or memorize the telephone book, which seems quite useless to me, but anyway, Anyway, these people who have super memory, yeah? So these people, they train in this by visualization, I checked out, I was interested, how do they do, So they do like we're doing, actually, to imagine, I don't know, like 21,950 times, yeah? They have visual images, yeah? That's how they do it, yeah? So anyway, our ancestors knew this all very well, so we're not reinventing the wheel, yeah? Okay? Rinpoche said there's many missing parts, actually, if we look back in ancient culture. Okay, of course, some things we like, like dentists are great, Some parts of modern life are so good, we don't exactly want to be in the Middle Ages, but some parts of the ancient cultures are very good and we should use, yeah? So thank you ever so much, Renata and Sarah and Carmen and Sharon, and I apologize because I don't know exactly who did everything, but and Lucia, thank you very much, everybody, who put your time and energy to make this. Thank you ever so much, yeah? So there's this. Also, there's this sadhana, beautiful, this sadhana is actually in there, yes, if you don't want to. But I like to have it separate, it's a little, don't know, could also carry this around, but it's a little bit big, no? This is the sadhana we have on the screen. This actually is also in the book, so this is buy one, get two free, yeah? If you don't want to buy it, but anyway, nice to have everything, yeah? This is in Italian. Anyway, beautiful things, yeah? Thank you very much. Can I keep them? Thank you. So beautiful, yeah? Really appreciate a lot, yeah? Okay. So, this is, actually, these images here, maybe we're actually making like we did self-healing this morning with the, I don't know what you call it these days, MP4, DVD, anyway, this audio-visual presentation of self-healing. So we're actually doing one of Medicine Buddha, yeah? Okay, so these images will probably go into this together with Lama Gangchen Rinpoche voice and the peace voices together, you know? Rinpoche left us lots of things to do, you know, never be bored ever again, yeah? So we need to, he asked, you know, what was not finished, that we continue, mostly arrange everything, no? So we're just like finalizing, you know? Because we didn't have time with all these beautiful things, you know? Anyway, so here's the Medicine Buddha, okay, but we put with Rinpoche face because we like, yeah, okay? You can also put with like Medicine Buddha, like blue, like lapis lazuli, okay? Yeah, but for us who, you know, who are connected with Rinpoche La, that's the most beautiful one, yeah? In his right hand, he's holding this plant called Mirabalam, Triphala, the three fruits, yeah? So I was saying that this plant, yeah, the taste changes, yeah? Which is true, it's very interesting. So also it depends what you eat and stuff, yeah? So every day the taste is different, yeah? And finally the taste, after some time of being horrible, should become sweet, yeah? And when it becomes like a nice sweet taste, you can stop taking it, yeah, because it means you have become you've gone into balance, yeah? So anyway, interesting, no? Yeah? So in his right hand, he has this special medicine called Triphala, Myrobalam. And it says the one that heals the outer, inner, and secret poison, yeah? So it's very good for the intestine, yeah? From the point of view of Tibetan medicine or Oriental medicine, many of our problems come from poor digestion, yeah? Okay? It's like, you know, we eat the wrong thing, but many mixtures, and then it's not going well, and then, anyway, it's sticking in our intestines, then it's coming lots of toxins, it's called ama, no? Lots of toxins, and then gradually we get sick. It's one of the causes of ill health, so Triphala is helping a lot with that, yeah? Okay? Anyway, so Medicine Buddha's holding that, yeah? And then in his left hand, he's holding a bowl full of the nectar of medicine, yeah? So something like this, yeah? So remember in the original times of Lord Buddha and his friends, the Sangha, they used to have, actually, not exactly, this is what we call singing bowl. Actually, these singing bowls, yeah, okay? The original one was the lunze, which means the begging bowl, yeah? In the Theravada tradition, they still have them, yeah? And they have like a kind of bag, yeah? With a strap and a lid, yeah? So they walk around with this, then every morning they visit some friends and who give them food, yeah? So it has a lid and it's kind of like a bag as well. It's a multi-purpose, yeah? So this, because... so it's like you receive what people offer to you in this, okay? Yeah? Because the word vikshu or gelong, you know, actually it means, ge means virtue and long means beggar, okay? Yes? Mendicant, yeah? But ge means positive one, not just, you know, not somebody sitting on the corner drinking whiskey, yeah? It means somebody who's living this kind of renounced life, you know? And they just receive, what they get is what they receive from the others, and then they don't work, they spend their whole time in the spiritual practice, yeah? Okay? So Lord Buddha, no, him and his friends, they used to not have a kitchen, they used to go for lunch like this every day, so each one of them had this bowl. So here it says the Medicine Buddha, inside the bowl is 3 kinds of nectars, yeah? Okay, so there's the nectar of medicine, yeah? The Amrita, Rinpoche used to talk about this, what's it called? I've forgotten the name in Tibetan, but in the Western language, panacea, one medicine that heals 100 illness, yeah? So in there is the panacea medicine that heals all sickness, yeah? Okay. Then there's long life wisdom and wisdom nectar, so 3 types of nectar, no? Yeah? So this word nectar, amrita, actually dutsi in Tibetan, is a very interesting word actually. It doesn't mean like, like mango juice or orange juice, not like that kind of nectar, not like in the supermarket, yeah? Dutsi, amrita. Actually amrita in Sanskrit, means not in Sanskrit, and mrut, yeah, it means die, it means not dying, yeah? Okay, so what makes us die is our delusions, yeah? Okay? So what kills us is our ignorance, our desire, our hatred, our pride, and our jealousy, yeah? Okay? On so many different levels, yeah? Emotionally, also we do the wrong things, we get sick, yeah? And we're in samsara, and then we're born and we die again and again because of our delusion, yeah? So if we want not to die, amrita, yeah? Amrita, yeah? Then what we need to do is transform our 5 emotions and purify our 5 elements, like we showed this morning with self-healing, yeah? So beautiful meaning actually, yeah, okay? So actually it means, okay, do self-healing, do make peace in the environment is the deep meaning of Amrita, yeah, Dutsi, okay? Yeah, and when we do that, everything becomes like nectar, actually, you know? Everything becomes very beautiful, very tasty, yeah? You know, they always say in the Vajrayana tradition, everything becomes one taste. One taste doesn't mean horrible taste, like me eating the tree phala. It means everything becomes a delicious taste, yeah? Best taste, yeah? So anyway, so like that, yeah, okay? So 3 Amritas, yeah? One is the Amrita of medicine, yeah, okay? Which is all about bringing the 3 humours, wind, bile and phlegm, and the 5 elements into balance. And if you want to know more details about that, of course, there's loads and loads of books you can get, but also this explains very nicely. I know because I've read it many times. I really like this. And of course, there's many, many other Tibetan doctors and masters. So if you're interested, please look, you know, there's many of these kind of books, yeah? But not with our sadhana inside, not with 2 sadhanas, yeah? And not with the pictures, yeah? Like our book, yeah? But anyway. The second one, okay, one is we need to bring the body and mind into balance, yeah? So we need health, yeah? Second is, okay, let's say you have health, yeah? Okay. We also need, we need health and we need long life. In the tree of medicine, what's called the tree of medicine, we need, the fruits of the tree of medicine is long life and good health, okay, yeah? Okay. And if we had long life and good health, what we need is to be wise and do something for other people, yeah? Otherwise, like James Dean, better to live fast and die young if we're just going to be stupid, you know, and behave badly. Better live fast and die young than spend a long time accumulating suffering for ourselves and others, yeah? So the fruit of the tree of studying medicine, of healing, is long life, health and wisdom, yeah? Okay, so then we have time, no? It's important if we, you know, of course, nobody knows how long they've got, yeah? But anyway, however much time we've got, we want to use our life to develop wisdom. We want to have as much life energy. So we don't want to feel like tired all the time, you know, because, you know, when one ages, this is what we didn't factor in when we were younger, you know. We're like, oh, yeah, I'm going to get old and I'm going to do this. But like, I didn't realize I was going to get tired, yeah? So if we do these kind of practices, we get less tired, we have more energy, and everything's going better, yeah, okay? Yeah, okay, yes, we will still, hopefully, we will still age, you know, we will die, yes, unfortunately, that's in the contract of life that we signed, yeah, we didn't read the small print, but anyway, there we are. But we'll do so in a better way, yeah, okay? So, what's not to like, yeah? Wonderful, yeah, okay? So inside the bowl of the medicine Buddha is the 3 nectars of medicine nectar, long life nectar, and wisdom. Also, by the way, in the White Tara practice, in the Rinpoche, he always promotes in the early years, he was going around, White Tara practice, Om Tare, Tu Tare, Turi, Mama, Ayo, Punya, Jnana, Pustrim, Kuriya, Soha, yeah? Mama, to me, yeah? Not to my mama, but it could be to my mama as well, yeah? Why not, yeah? Ayo is life, yeah? Punya is energy, yeah? And Jnana is wisdom, yeah? Okay, so all the healing practices, all of them, it's healing, energy, life, and wisdom is what we're going for, yeah? Okay. Okay, so anyway, so Medicine Buddha. You can see many, many beautiful images of Medicine Buddha. Actually, we have a huge, huge tanker of Medicine Buddha. But at the moment, it's because our colonia is being restructured, or will be, you know, we've actually put it in storage. You know, we have a very, very big tanker of Medicine Buddha that Ducho painted many, many years ago for Rinpoche. We did many, many courses with this Buddha, but anyway, at the moment it's in storage. Maybe we'll see if we can bring it out and bring down to the Gompa these days. Yeah? And you can have a really good look at Medicine Buddha, huge one, yeah? Okay. Okay, so anyway, Medicine Buddha, he has what's called the 32 major marks and the 80 minor indications of an awakened person. So every feature of him shows his past karma, yeah? So anyway, there's many, many, many of these, yeah? So for example, because he has like a wheel on the hands, that's from teaching the Dharma in many, many lifetimes. There's 32 of these like special signs, yeah? That show his quality, yeah? His spiritual development over many lives. If you're interested, it's in the Abhi Samaya Alamkara commentary, the ornament to clear realization. Yeah, You can look on the internet, or you can just Google or look on the internet, what are the 32 major marks and 80 minor signs of a Buddha, if you're interested, yeah? Okay? Okay, but anyway, so he's like that, yeah? He's wearing a monk's robe because he's sure. Why he's showing like this is because we need to practice ahimsa, non-violence. This is the basic idea of ethics in Buddhism, yeah? Okay? Yeah? And all other variations of Buddhist ethics come from that, yeah? Don't harm yourself, don't harm the others. If possible, try to help them, control your mind. This is the teaching of the Buddha, yeah? Okay? Yeah? Medicine Buddha is sat on a lotus, a sun and a moon. Why? Because actually lotuses, it's true. You plant the seed in a swamp, yeah? Some kind of a swamp, a lake, yeah? And in the bottom of the lake, you have to push down in the mud, yeah? And then the seed, it gradually grows up, and there's a super long stalk, yeah? And then one day it pops up through the top of the water and opens, yeah? So this is why the lotus has always been, since ancient times, a symbol of spiritual development, yeah? Okay? This in Buddhist art, they tend to be like pink and blue and green and blue. Actually, all the lotus I ever saw were pink, actually, yeah? Okay? Green and pink, but anyway. And actually, and in the middle of a real lotus, they have a kind of like big, like round thing, which is very good for sitting on if you're a Buddha, yeah? So this is, I think this is how come the idea of Buddhas sitting on lotuses, yeah? Yeah, so out of the, okay, so we have Buddha nature. So within the swamp of our mind, yeah, we have the seed of awakening. Everybody has Buddha nature. But it's a little bit obscure, little or a lot obscured at the moment, yeah? In the Chan tradition of China, and Japan, yeah, they have some sutras, and they say, imagine, like these days, unfortunately, there's many people who go in the garbage, getting things out, yeah, okay, because they're very poor, no? So imagine somebody was going in the garbage, and looking for metal and this and that, yeah, and then they see something, and it's all covered in something, and then they open, and inside is a beautiful golden Buddha. They'd be like, wow, so amazing, yeah? So this is a bit like us when we do meditation, yeah? So we have to go through a lot of mental garbage, unfortunately, and then we find beautiful Buddha nature inside our own mind, which was there, but we forgot, we didn't know, yeah? Okay? Yeah? So this is the seed of the lotus within our own mind, in the swamp of our emotions, but there you are, there it is, yeah? Also, important concept is we can achieve awakening here and now in this life. We don't have to die to get it, yeah? So that's a very positive, life-affirming thing, yeah? Yeah? So first is the lotus symbolizes what we call nejung, which means definite emergence, like I'm definitely fed up of myself, I definitely want to change, I'm definitely out of here, I do not want to stay the same, I just make myself miserable, there's no chance for the present situation to improve, I should just give up thinking in an ordinary way and look for a better way of living, a better way of being, yeah? So this is what we call nejung. Jung means like to arise, yeah? So we're definitely going to arise and become a better person for the benefit of all, yeah? Okay? Then the Buddhas, so okay, the bit underneath is like the base of this thing inside a lotus, yeah? Yeah, this like base, this central bit is quite big and hard, so Buddhas can sit on them. Then there's a sun and a moon disk, yeah? So this represents the two bodhicittas, yeah? So, now it's the full moon, yeah? I think it was yesterday, no, wasn't it, yeah? Yeah? Very nice, beautiful full moon. So Rinpoche, Lama Ganchen, he used to say, modern people, they've been to the moon, it cost billions of dollars, but what did they bring back? Rocks. What a waste of money. Billions of dollars, all you brought back was rock, yeah? He said, we Tibetan Lamas, we go to sit on the moon every day, and what do we find is the cool nature of bodhicitta, yeah? We find inner peace, and we find love, compassion. So please come to the moon together with me, he used to say. This is much better investment, yeah, okay? So all the Buddhas, they all, if you look on the pictures in the Gompa, they all sit on either a sun or a moon, yeah, okay? So, sometimes it's the sun, sometimes it's the moon, anyway, it represents bodhicitta. Actually, we have bodhicitta, bodhi means awakening, yeah, okay? Chitta means mind in Sanskrit, mind of awakening, yeah? So actually, there's two minds of awakening. One is called relative bodhicitta, the other is called ultimate bodhicitta. So you can see medicine Buddhas on a sun and the moon, which actually has many, many meanings in terms of healing, yeah? Like making peace with the environment, yeah? You know, our world, no? We have in the sky, we have the sun, the moon, the stars, the elements. We need to make peace with the outer world, yeah? And part of our problem is that we forgot, yeah? That we're anything to do with it, and we don't, you know, so we don't take care anymore. So then is coming a very big imbalance in the environment because we forgot all other ancient cultures, yeah, apart from us. They understood that the environment was important and you should not damage the water, the trees, the nature, that we depend on them. But somehow, because of whatever reason, who knows, yeah, but unfortunately we've forgotten. Now we have all these problems to deal with, like global heating and so on, yeah, and overpopulation, famine and so on, yeah. Anyway, so relative bodhicitta, what does it mean? Rinpoche used to say we need to change our small, selfish heart into the big, open heart of compassion, yeah? So everybody already has some love, yeah? Rinpoche used to say, even if you only love yourself, it's okay, it's a start, yeah? But then we need to increase, you know? Or maybe you love your dog, yeah? Lots of people appear to love their dogs or their cats more than anybody else, you know? Yeah? But anyway, whatever. Some feeling is there, you know? So Rinpoche said, with this circle of kindness, we need to open our heart, you know, like we do like this, no? Like the lotus, no? So the heart needs to gradually open, and we need to make space for more and more people inside, because normally we're educated, no? Just, I love my friend, my family, my cat, my dog, my parrot, or I don't know what, my garden, yeah, okay? And the rest I don't care about, yeah, okay? But this is a very, like, small, limited mind, no? So to find true happiness, the more we open the heart to others, the more happy we will be, actually, yeah. So we need to develop empathy. Like when we do the limitless meditations, may all beings have happiness and its causes. May all beings be free from suffering and its causes. May all beings never be separated from the great happiness beyond all misery. May all beings dwell in equanimity, unaffected by attraction to those we're friends and near to, and also not hating the ones, you know, we think, oh, they're very bad, you know. This mind we shouldn't follow, yeah? So this is if we think about these, we call limitless meditations, why they're limitless is because there's for example, now they say, in November, no, there's going to be 8 billion people in the world, 8,000 million, yeah, okay? All wanting to eat, all wanting a house, all wanting a car, yeah? That's why the world's in a problem, no, yeah? Plus billions of insect, bird, other forms of life, yeah? So we need to develop empathy towards everybody, yeah, okay? Open the heart, open the circle of kindness and caring, you know? So this we shouldn't miss, because we can do as many mantras and visualizations as we like till we are blue in the face, like Medicine Buddha. But if we don't start to be kind and nice and have empathy, it's not going to have a big effect on our minds, yeah? So these are the basic things you can see. Look, you know, I definitely need to change, yeah? Okay, so somehow, in some way, all of you made some kind of decision because you're sat here, no? Yeah, okay, yeah? Otherwise you'd be sat somewhere else, like a beach or somewhere, yeah? Okay? So you already have some feeling, I want to change my life in some way, okay? Then, of course, there's many levels of that, you know? And then empathy, we have some empathy, but we need more, we need to open our hearts, but we can, bit by bit, yeah? And then we need ultimate bodhicitta, we need to understand tendrel, which is interdependence, yeah? We need to understand how things exist and how things function and how things don't exist, because mainly what we are at the moment is a level of not understanding and seeing things unclearly, you know? Then even though we want to be happy, we do the wrong thing. Why? Because we don't know. So all the life we run after what we think will bring happiness. In the end, we just end up tired, old, sick, and disappointed, yeah, okay, because we didn't know, you know. We tried to do the right thing according to society's information, but in the end there was no joy, no happiness, yeah, okay? So bit by bit we can understand about interdependence. Like, for example, we can start to look at nature and the cycles of nature, yeah, okay? Then we see every day, everything's moving, no? The sun, the moon, the sky, the constellations, the plants are growing, and the seasons, yeah? So immediately, if we just look around us, we start to see, everything's a process, everything's changing. It's not how I think it is, which is like fixed, yeah? I live in a fantasy world where I'm trying to build up like some fixed security thing that's not possible. You know, I need to literally learn to go with the flow, you know, accept change, and then use in a positive way, you know. Then, okay, I need to know how to create happiness, how to create healing. I need to know what is the actual cause of things, because now every time I try and do what I think is the right thing, many times it's not coming the result I wanted, yeah, okay? So we need a little bit more peace education, yeah, but why not? It's possible, yeah. Okay, so now this is the basis, yeah? Nejung, definite emergence, bodhicitta, and to understand interdependence, okay? And then what's called emptiness, okay? These are the three things we need to know. That's why Buddha's sat on a lotus and a sun and a moon, okay? This is the basis of healing, okay? Also, yes. Also, yes. Actually, this is explained very well within the medical teachings. You know, when we're born, yeah, we're born. Okay, now we don't. Okay, in the West, no, modern society, there's this idea that you are conceived. Of course, we are conceived from our parents' sperm and ovum. There's no doubt, yeah. But there's this. Really, people they don't know in the modern society much. Okay, now they're investigating about consciousness, but still it's like, where does it come from, yeah? So in Buddhism and Hinduism, and maybe some other traditions, what we believe, or many masters have experienced, is that death is not the end, after death is coming birth, okay, yeah? So when we are born, of course, there's the joining of our parents' semen and ovum, yeah, the essence of our parents, yeah? The two energies, male and female, but then our mind enters. So we're a three system, three energies. From this three, we grow up, yeah, okay? So in Buddhism, it's not two system like Taoism, you know, they have yin-yang, okay? Yeah, everything in Buddhism is a three system. Like, so if you look, for example, here in our Gompa, like, you see the drum, yeah, okay? In the middle, there's like a kind of swirly thing, a gakyo, a bliss swirl. So at the bliss swirl, it has not yin-yang, yeah? Two colors, it has three colors, yeah, swirling together, yeah. So there's male, female, and neutral, yeah. Actually, there's not just male and female, by the way. There's three, yeah. Okay, so yeah. So this is quite contemporary, actually. So ancient India, we always had like man, woman, and everybody else, yeah. So that's how it's always been in Buddhism. We accept everybody, you know. Three energies, you know. So we have the day, the night, and we have the dawn and the dusk, yeah? Everything is about three and bringing into balance. So we have three dosha, three humor, yeah? So the sun energy is the hot energy, yeah? So this is coming, the pitta dosha, the hot energy and heat energy in the body, yeah? Okay? The moon is the cool energy, yeah? So this is what we call the kapha, the phlegm, the cool energy in the body. So these two need to be in balance, yeah? And there's centers of the heat energy in the body, like the digestive center, for example. There's the centers of the kapha, the cool energy, like the brain, the nervous system. There's a whole explanation about this, but basically there's the cool descending energy and the hot rising energy from the digestive system, okay? These two need to be in balance, and all our organs are about keeping it in balance, like the kidneys have the cool energy, yeah? That cool down the heat. If your kidneys are sick, then you get fever. You know, this is where it comes, the explanation of medicine. It's complicated, yeah? So then it's all about creating balance, yeah, okay, with these two energies. But there's not just two energies. The third energy, male, female, and then the third was our mind, yeah, when we were conceived, yeah, okay? So the third energy, vata, is the energy of mind, yeah? So it's the energy of wind, of lung, of prana, yeah, that's moving, yeah, okay? So, from these three energies, heat, cold, and mind, is coming the three doshas, wind, bile, and phlegm, and actually is coming the five elements, yeah? So all these three, yeah, we need to bring into balance, yeah? So, huge subject, yeah? The medicine is based on this, yeah? Very fascinating, yeah? All the traditions of healing are based on this, yeah? Okay? So, anyway, huge subject. So, anyway, if you want to, actually, in here, there's a very good explanation, actually, about these three energies, yeah? why I would recommend that you get the book, because I don't think we have time to read all this. Now I can tell you the theory, you know, but the beautiful explanation already published here, okay? So yes, 2 energies and a third one here, yeah?
Lama,
Yeah?
la vata, qual è la funzione della vata, oltre a kapha e
Well,
pitta?
Alan's saying what's the function of vata, of wind in the body, yeah? So, well, vata is mind, yeah? Okay, it's the energy, it's like the vital energy, yeah? So it's the energy that circulates. Actually, it gives energy to the other 2, actually, you know? It comes from, prana is from breath, isn't it? From breathing, yeah? You know? So always since ancient India, there's been a link between breath and life, yeah? Okay? Obviously, because when you don't breathe anymore, you are dead, yeah? Okay? Even though our masters, you know, our great masters, they can meditate for some time in the death process, and so, you know, okay, they look dead, but they're not dead, okay? Because somehow they can keep the inner energy inside, yeah? But for us mere mortals, you know, as long as you're breathing, you're alive, yeah? So prana is life, yeah? So vata is life, yeah? And it moves around the body, so it's the vital energies, so they're in the medicine book, in Kalachakra, Making Peace in the Environment, it explains there are 5 main pranas, 5 currents of life, yeah? Okay? And we need all 5 of these to live, you know. There's the life-sustaining wind, yeah? If you cannot live if that one goes, yeah, you will die immediately. Then there's the digestive wind, the downward moving wind, the upward moving wind, and the what's called the pervasive wind, yeah? So why we have these 5 currents of life is because, like all forms of life that have evolved on this planet, we need to eat, we need to take the energy, and once we've eaten it, it needs to go out, yeah? Otherwise we would explode eventually, you know? So it's something physiological, no? We need to breathe. We take the energy of air, no? Yeah? Then we drink, yeah? We take the energy of the elements, no? Water and food, yeah? And then we take the other elements, no? So all forms of life, even like things sitting on a rock by the sea, they have some movement, no? To get the food, no? Isn't it, yeah? So we have something called the pervasive wind to allow us to get our food, yeah? Then we need to swallow it, yeah? Then it needs to digest, we need to take the energy out of it, and then it needs to go out, yeah? Yeah? And we and earthworms and monkeys and, I don't know, starfish, everything is the same, you know? Yeah? Yeah? So anyway, these 5 pranas physiologically is for this, okay? Yeah? Yeah? So it's the essence of life, yeah? When this energy of life enters into the union of our parents' semen and ovum, life starts, yeah, okay? Yeah? Yeah? And at the moment of death, when our body disintegrates, yeah, then the life current actually, a very subtle life current leaves the physical body and goes on to the next life, and so on, yeah? So it's very important, yeah? Anyway, vata, I mean, there's many levels, no? Okay? There's the very subtle energy of the elements of the pranas together with the mind. But on the gross level, it's something completely different, no? Yeah? On the gross level, it's called stress, yeah? Yeah? It's the energy of, yeah, most vata means people who have vata, they're always like dissatisfied, actually. Like modern society, I want this, I want that, yeah? Yeah? Got one flower, now I need another flower, bigger flower, better flower, I need a whole garden, now I need a professional garden, I need a greenhouse. You know, our mind's never satisfied. This is like vata, no? Energy, yeah? Okay? Always running around, I want more, yeah? Rinpoche used to say, if you want to feel satisfied, just stop wanting things, you know, yeah? Yeah, if you want to pacify your lung, stop, yeah? Stop wanting so many things, yeah? Be more relaxed, yeah? It's okay, you know? Less is more, yeah? Anyway, all this is a huge subject, yeah? Okay? So, hang on, where are we? Medicine Buddha, yeah? No, it's okay. And each one of these is huge discussion, yeah? Very beautiful, very interesting, yeah? Anyway, please, Italian friends, our friends here in the publications, they spend a lot of effort recently to make this for you. So everybody Italian speaking, buy this for yourself, but present to yourself, birthday present to yourself. It's really, really useful, yeah? Me personally, I mean, not that I always follow it, I should do, but I found a lot of, if I followed this, I'd be super healthy, yeah? Yeah? Yes, Ruth?
May
the more we are confronted also with very, very sad cases of illness. And the more we hear, this does not make me happy. It makes me more and more also sad to hear about all these strong cases of illness, for example. Recently,
Well, this is our path now, isn't it, yeah? As Mahayana Buddhists, yeah? It's true, and like now, for example, now we have all this WhatsApp and Signal group and all this, and we have literally every day, our friends, friend of friends, suffering, terrible stories, you know, all asking for prayer, for help. But it's our, let's say, responsibility to try the best we can for pray for them, send them some energy, yeah? And that's very good. We do puja together and pray and dedicate for them. So, Chenrezi Avalokiteshvara, yeah? His name means, is looking in the eye of each being. Actually, he's acknowledging their pain, but also he knows there's a solution, you know? Yeah? But because, like, for us, it's difficult to look, you know? If you see somebody really in pain, most of us, we just want to look away because we feel uncomfortable, yeah? So the Bodhisattva way is to be strong enough to keep the heart open, and then think, well, not just think, just must do something for the others. It's part of the Bodhisattva path, yeah? Yes, it is horrible, it is painful, and of course we prefer to be in a pure land where there was no suffering and no pain, but unfortunately we're not. So it's part of our Bodhisattva path, is each one who's suffering to look in the eye, you know, and say, yes, I'm with you, I know you're in pain, let's pray together, let's meditate together, whatever we can do, we do, you know. So it's what we have to do, you know. It's part of the Bodhisattva commitment, yeah, that we signed up for before we knew what we were signing up for. But now we're doing it, yeah, so it's very good, yeah, okay. Okay, so anyway, so there's, Medicine Buddha. He's blue like lapis lazuli. Okay, lapis lazuli. Lapis lazuli, it comes from Afghanistan, it comes from South America, of course. In ancient India, they had as far as we know, they had the one from Afghanistan, not from South America. But anyway, it has this, also this thing of pacifying the three dosha, yeah, because it's dark blue, very cooling, yeah. Also, it has like white and gold in it. It has like some kind of sparkly bits, yeah. I bought a large piece of it actually when I was in South America because they have all these things there in South America, yeah. So you can see very clearly. So the white, it's like the three, like the sun, the moon, and the lotus, yeah. So there's gold bits, white bits, and blue bits, yeah. It's like the three humours again: the sun, the moon, and blue. Vata is blue actually, you know. So it's pacifying Vata, yeah. And like one of the main problems in the modern society is wind imbalance, yeah? You know, like no matter what anybody has, 95% of their problem is wind imbalance because we're anxious, we're stressed, yeah? We're fearful, you know? People have lost, Rinpoche used to say people have lost their emotional security and like they don't trust society, well, they don't definitely not know the government, society, don't believe the news, don't believe anybody, so even we can't trust ourselves. So we have to gradually recover this feeling of emotional security. Yeah, so anyway, Medicine Buddha is also about this, learning to trust ourselves, you know. That's a big part of healing, no? Because if we can't trust ourselves, who are we going to trust, yeah? Yeah? Anyway, so Medicine Buddha is blue like lapis lazuli, a very healing stone, yeah? Okay, with many, many healing qualities, yeah? Okay? So, there's Buddha Shakyamuni, okay, and maybe Carmela, can you put back the other picture now with the one with the Tubdwang Tendrama with the Buddhas like stacked up, yeah, this one, yeah. Okay, so we're visualizing this in front actually, yeah. This is what we call the field of merit. This means from there we receive inspiration, healing energy. There's Lord Buddha Shakyamuni, who showed the way to heal the world by understanding it's interdependent, it's a process, yeah, okay? That things are not as they seem, yeah? And then above his crown is Medicine Buddha, Guru Medicine Buddha. Menla means guru together with medicine. In Buddhism we have three different approaches, yeah? For two of them you don't need a guru, for the Vajrayana one you do, yeah? So if you don't like gurus, you can do the other two, it's okay, you know? We have something for everybody, yeah, okay? We have like the Theravada approach, yeah, where they have like, called Bhante, no? Like the practitioners who are going towards Nirvana, who are a good example. In the Mahayana, we have the spiritual friend, yeah, okay? And in the Vajrayana, we have the Guru showing us the way to awakening, enlightenment. So each way you need to relate to the spiritual teacher in a different way. Some people don't like or want spiritual teachers, it's okay, but then each one is producing a different result, you know, and everybody's different, no? Anyway, for us, we believe in the Vajrayana that to see the Buddha together with the lineage of masters is much better, because otherwise we might just think it's like some fantasy or something, I don't know, some mental image, yeah, or Disney or something, yeah. So the guru, lineage of gurus is like this, you know, let's say, speaking simply, real people, yeah, in our world who transmitted all these practices, who realized them from one generation to the next, and we saw it's true, we saw it's real, yeah. So if we put this into the computer, it will work, yeah? Okay, if not, it will work for a short time, then it will stop, and like us, no? Otherwise, our inspiration will go for a short time, and then we will not have any inspiration, and we will stop, most probably, yeah? Okay? So this is that's how we think, yeah? But everybody is completely free to think however they want. That's our point of view, yeah? Okay? Anyway, above the head is Guru Medicine Buddha here, okay? So we have a lot of these visualizations of the Guru Buddha above your head. Why? Because the energy is coming through you, yeah? Healing you and spreading out across the universe, yeah? Okay? Here is what we call the crown chakra, yeah? It's not just Tibetan Buddhists who have a crown chakra. Also in Hinduism, they have a crown chakra, yeah? That's why they have the hairstyle. You know the Hare Krishnas, they have that like hair. It's like pull this, emergency exit, yeah? In the Brahma door, yeah? Okay? So they believe like this, and actually this is actually true, you know? We believe that when people die, you should pull here, you know? If you've got any hair, of course. If not, you have to, yeah? Touch, if possible, or just stroke like this, yeah? Touch, yeah? So this is why they have that hair do, you know? With the little, what do you call it, little ponytail? Yeah? Or what do you call it, little pleat of hair there, yeah? Yeah? Little tuft of hair, yeah? For that reason, yeah? Because here is, when we're born, no? Yeah, okay, we have this fontanella, yeah? Okay, that when we're an adult, it joins together, yeah? So here, in the spiritual traditions, they believe it's possible to receive many energies, actually. Many energies of healing, of the enlightenment of the universe, yeah? So this is an important spiritual point, okay? So we always visualize the Guru Buddhas and so on, the positive energies above our head, yeah? And then the energies descend into us, yeah? Okay? So above the head of Buddha Shakyamuni is the medicine Buddha, okay? Okay. And then above the head of medicine Buddha is the next one. So as you can see, there's 6 medicine Buddhas, yeah? So there's different, okay, actually there's 3 gold ones, there's a red one, there's two pink ones, one who's more like pale pink and one who's more like fuchsia colour, actually, yeah? So in Tibetan, it says, okay, I happen to have this because we're editing the sadhana, no? So there's 3 gold ones, which is quite easy, and then there's one called Ma Kya, which means red with a white tinge, which means kind of like fuchsia colour, let's say, and there's one who's Ka Ma, which is white and red together, which is what we would call pink, yeah, and one who's Mapo colour, which is red, yeah? So red, pink and fuchsia, okay? Kind of, yeah, okay? Like dark pink, yeah? Light pink and red, yeah, okay? But there's many other traditions. Sometimes you see other paintings of the medicine Buddhas with different colours on them, yeah? But our tradition in our Ganda Nyingu, the one from our gurus, is these kind of colours, yeah, okay? So blue, 3 gold and 3 shades of red, okay? Yeah? And actually, if you look at them, they're actually making mostly the gestures of the Dhyani Buddhas, you know, like, of course, everything is like the Dhyani Buddhas, no? So one looks like he's making the gesture of Moga Siddhi, one like Ratnasambhava, one like Ekshobhya, one like Amitabha and Vairocana, okay? Yeah? Okay, so I think that makes it more clear. Kami, could you put that picture, that we have a card, no, of the medicine Buddha and and in the centre, no? That Okay, this one, okay? This is this is here, isn't it, in our Gompa? Is it? This pic is here, no? It's over there, look, above Chenrezig, yeah? Behind, see, it's in our Temple of Heaven, yeah? Okay? These images were from Dema Gonsa Rinpoche Monastery in Tibet, and then it was made into our beautiful tattoo wall by the help of many friends, yeah? So, look, here's Medicine Buddha in the center, Menla. Okay, actually, the main one really is Buddha Shakyamuni, and that's what Kenshin Rinpoche want to emphasize. The second main one, yeah, is Menla, Medicine Buddha, is in the center, no? With the Myrobalan plants and the bowl of nectar, yeah? And then around are the rest of the Medicine Buddhas, so there are... Actually, one of the colours has gone a bit strange in this, I must say, because one of those is actually Buddha Shakyamuni. The one on the top right is actually Buddha Shakyamuni, yeah? So that one on the bottom left should be more goldish colour, actually, yeah? Okay? But anyway, whatever here. So there's 3 gold ones, and then you see there's a red one. The white red one has become quite white there, and the fuchsia one's become pink, yeah? Okay, but anyway. Like some kind of 3 shades of red and 3 gold ones. So usually we see the image of the Medicine Buddhas like this, right? Like standing around like this, sitting around like this, yeah? Okay? In this beautiful environment, yeah? Showing we need to make peace with the environments. But in our sadhana, it's like the form of initiation with the Medicine Buddhas, like one above the other, is when we receive what we call the Jainang, the permission to practice, yeah? So Rinpoche said, when we've received the Jainang of these practices, and by the way, if there's anybody here who hasn't received the Jainang, we will do on Saturday. Actually, we did many, many times with Rinpoche. Also, I did this year I did many times in South America, and also I did on the streaming, on the Zoom, yeah. But on Saturday, we're not going to do streaming, by the way. We'll just do for who likes to come in person, because now we had this horrible dream called the pandemic, okay, we know. But anyway, so now hopefully we're coming out the end of this. So what we need to do is come in person, yeah? Because we all like so much now, me too, to sit on our sofas, but being together in person, it also is some meaning, no? Okay, so, like, for example, this year I went to Brazil, no? To reopen Rinpoche centers. It was very nice, very successful, very beautiful. And there, the events, we did it in person and we upload later, yeah? Okay, so be there or be square. Unless, of course, you are 90 or over, or have some very serious illness and are not able to get to the Gompa, in which case people were welcome to tell us, and we did a Zoom for them, yeah? But everybody who is under 90, yeah, who can walk, yeah, who is not about to die, was welcome to come to the Gompa, okay? Yeah? Yeah? So that's how we did in Brazil, okay? Yeah? So I think we'll do here as well, you know, yeah? Because, yes, of course, everything is super comfortable, but some old things like being together in person is good, you know, yeah? You know, so, anyway. So we'll do that on Saturday, yeah? Anybody who didn't get the Jainang, for our community here, okay? Anyway, so can we go back to the other picture, please, Camilla? In the sadhana, please. Yeah? Can you open the sadhana in Italian? Yeah, with all. The one it says in the folder. It says for kami. Yeah, not that one. In for kami, it's this folder. No, that folder there on above. Yeah, it says for kami, for Medicine Buddha retreat. Yeah. No, that one in that folder, top right. Yeah, that one there. Okay. And now this is the actual one we're editing at the moment, yeah? Okay. Because we're making this DVD with Rinpoche voice, no? Okay, so this is the one we will, yeah? Like I say, not everything we already have is perfect, but now we're doing like this audio-visual thing, final thing, yeah? Okay. Can you go down a little bit, please? Okay, so actually, if you go down a little bit more, yeah, okay? If you go down a bit further, there's pictures of all the Medicine Buddhas one by one, yeah, okay? Hopefully. bit further. See, many beautiful things to do in this practice, yeah? All kinds of beautiful, interesting meditations, yeah? So beautiful, no? These are the bijas, the seed syllables, yeah, that we have to meditate on, yeah? In the 7 chakras. Okay, right, okay. Here. Okay, I don't know who is that one, yeah? Can I see the writing, please? Can I see who it is, the name, please, underneath, yeah? Okay, this is Chomden de Deshin Shepa Drachompa Yandape Zope Sangye. Senle Yundrag, okay? Yeah? Okay, so actually in the first visualization they're in a slightly different order, but anyway. And anyway, the traditional, let's say, the Jainang version, and then here they're in the version where they're sitting in our chakras, okay? So anyway, so there's these 7 Buddhas of healing, yeah? Okay. Now, Rinpoche said at first for us it's a little bit difficult, like, for example, Chomden De, Nyongken Gyalpo, yeah, it's like, what even, we can't pronounce it, yeah? Okay, so anyway, actually the names in Sanskrit are even better, yeah? More difficult to pronounce, yeah, but anyway, important is that we know the meaning, like this, for example. Hang on, let me find this one, yeah? Like the Senli Yundrak, yeah? Okay, anyway, the first part of the sadhana is just describing what they look like, yeah? So we can also just look at pictures of them, yeah? Okay? Like, for example, this one, Tathagata Senli Yundrak, yeah? Tathagata, King of Melodious Sound, yeah? Now, these names go back many centuries, okay? Actually, the original names are in Sanskrit, yeah? Okay? So these Buddhas, yeah? Many eons ago, they made promise to help in our time, yeah, when life was very tough, when there was environmental problems, war, famine, our times, yeah, okay? And when Manjusri asked Lord Buddha in Vaishali under the tree of music, yeah, what will we do in the future? Buddha said, don't worry, these 7 Buddhas will help, yeah, the 7 medicine Buddhas, yeah? And then he gave their names, and he said, those of you who remember these Buddhas and pray to them and request their help in the future times, like now, yeah, you will find relief, you will find comfort, you will find healing, yeah, okay? This was the promise of the Lord Buddha, yeah, okay? So so their names are like this. If you like, one day we can look at their names in Sanskrit and things like that. So this part of the sadhana, it says, okay, there's Tathagata, King of Melodious Sound, Chomdende Senla Yundrak, the name in Tibetan, no? Golden colour. His right hand is in the mudra of protection, like a Mogasiddhi, yeah? And the left is in the gesture of meditation. So this part is just explaining what they look like. So also you can look at the pictures, it's the same, yeah? Okay? But ancient sadhanas, they didn't have like this technology of like pictures like we had. Remember, before modern times, very difficult to have everybody have a little picture, no? You had to paint them, yeah? Before photography, before printing, before all the cool things we have nowadays. So they had to describe by words, yeah? Okay? And maybe there'd be one picture in a monastery or a temple and everybody could go and have a look, yeah? So this kind of thing, we improved a lot, yeah? Our times, no? Anyway, so the 7 medicine Buddhas, yeah? It's this part, it starts like that, yeah? So, okay, let me tell you who they are, because we're going to get to know them bit by bit, yeah? First one, there's medicine Buddha. Next one is first one above the head, yeah? Now you can go back to the other one with the stack, yeah? The one above the head of medicine Buddha is called, hello Geshe-la here, is called Chomden De, first one is Nongken Gyalpo, King of Clear Knowing, yeah, okay? The one with all the Buddhas stacked up in a, yeah? Anyway, the first one's called King of Clear Knowing. So, clear knowing what? It means knowing the nature of phenomena, yeah? Okay? Yeah? Like you see here, okay, so there's, maybe you can put the pointer, Kamila. First there's Tupwang Tendralma, Buddha Shakyamuni. Then the blue one, that's it, blue, Medicine Buddha, this, okay. This one here, see this picture here, actually this picture we need to adjust a little bit, because actually it's gold colour, yeah? Okay? Yeah? Oh, no, it's not. It's right, sorry. It says his color, so he's red, yeah? Okay. King of clear knowing, red color, yeah? Okay, we already adjusted this one, yeah? Okay. Yeah? So, he's like Ratnasambhava family, no? You can see it's like this mudra, yeah? Okay, giving the generosity of Dharma. Next one, above his head, yeah, is Chomdende Nyenken Mepel. Sorry, this is Italian. Nyenken Mepel, maybe, yeah? Melodious ocean of Dharma proclaimed, yeah? Okay. No, sorry. He's, supreme glory, free of suffering, yeah? The next one, so he's white with a reddish tint, like slightly pink, yeah, okay. And, yeah. Anyway, there's 7 of them. The one above is called Tathagata Supreme Excellent Gold, yeah? Yeah. And he's, no, it's in the sadhana, no? Okay. Sorry, I'm reading from the Italian version. Buddha Shakyamuni. There's Medicine Buddha, then there's King of Clear Knowing, red in color, then there's Melodious Ocean of Dharma Proclaimed, who's white color, okay, now we're getting somewhere. Then above his head is Supreme Glory, free of suffering, who's kind of pinkish color, yeah, who's like Amitabha, like this, meditation mudra. Above his head is Supreme Glory, excellent Tathagata, how do you say in English? Excellent pure gold, yeah? Okay. Gold in color. See the one above, yeah? He's making the mudra of teaching the Dharma, yeah? Yeah. Above his head is, can you go for it, please, Kami, yeah? Above his head is Tathagata, King of Melodious Sound, golden color, yeah? Another golden one, yeah? Making Ratnasambhava gesture, and above his head is Senli Yundrak, Tathagata, glorious fame of excellent signs, who's also gold, yeah? Okay, so at first this means nothing to us whatsoever, yeah? But when we start to get to know them, they're really super interesting, because they made a series of promises, yeah? Specific promises, like one promise to shield us from war, like for example, now we're afraid there might be a nuclear war, right? Yeah. So one of these medicine Buddhas, if we pray very strongly, is to pacify that kind of danger. Yeah. One is to pacify people being tortured. One is to pacify world famine. One is to all kinds of dangers. Yeah. So at first they mean nothing to us, but then oh, so beautiful. Yeah. When we get to know what they promised. Yeah. We really, really, really want to connect with these Buddhas, yeah? Okay? So, and as you see, okay, sun and the moon, the 2 energies. Sun, the moon, and the sky, it's actually like lapis lazuli, no? 3 energies, yeah? Always 3 energies, not 2 energies, yeah? Okay? So, Buddhism got there first. We always had 3 of everything, yeah? Modern society is just catching up with Buddhism, yeah? Yeah? Okay, so anyway, beautiful, yeah? Okay. Okay, so let's read a little bit more of the sadhana together, yeah? Okay. If we get, okay. Okay, so anyway, so we visualize like this. In front of us is Buddha with the medicine Buddhas above, yeah? Then, can you put the sadhana, please, Camilla, yeah? Then we do the prayer of 7 limbs, yeah, okay? Our sadhana is very long, yeah, okay, because Rinpoche put all the detail inside. But then, of course, you can make shorter, yeah? For example, once you know, okay, that you just look at the picture of the medicine Buddhas and no need to say, there is that one in that position with that name, because you can just look at it and you know something, no? Yeah? Okay, so in front of us is the field of merit, medicine Buddha, and the 7 other healing Buddha, Shakyamuni Buddha, and the other 7 medicine Buddhas. Okay, let's do this, yeah? Malu sem chen kungi kungyu chin du de punje mi se jom se la no na malu yanda kengyu pe chom den ko che ne di she su so. Okay, we request the Buddhas to come, and then we do what's called the 7-limb prayer, yeah? It's creating, actually, Lama Michelle's talking about the preliminary practice these days, isn't he, yeah? The 7 limbs is like giving us the support for the rest of our practice, yeah? Okay? It's like the 7 legs of a table or something, I don't know, like the 7 types of support we need, so go sun gu pe go ne cha se lo no sha yi tro chu pa ma lu bo. Next page, please. To me ne sa di tun tam che sha ke pa ge wa nam la je ira ko wa ma to ba du le shu ne ro la chu ki ko lo ko wa dang da she je na ja chu che pu nu. Okay, so Lama Michelle Rinpoche is giving beautiful teachings these days, usually in the morning, about this. So if you don't know what they are and the preliminary practice, please come, yeah? Okay? Okay, next, please, yeah? Oh, this, anyway, and then also preliminaries, we always do these things, okay? To set the scene for meditation. Okay, then it starts with what we call prostration. Okay, so many modern people, they don't like this, okay? They think, I'm not doing that. Also, me, when I went into Gompa, I thought, no way, I'm not doing that, yeah, okay? Yeah, but need to understand what we mean, you know? Chag selwa, yeah? Chag means hand, you know? So chag sel means what's in the hand, actually, yeah? So really it means you're like that, I want to be like you is what it actually means. It's not like demeaning yourself. It's like putting the other up and recognizing the other quality, other being's quality, you know? It's the opposite, yeah? Because we want to elevate ourselves, we do like this, yeah? So, for example, yeah? Drupa Kunli, famous Mahasiddha of Tibet now. One time he went to the Jokang temple, and there's a very famous statue of Buddha, yeah? Yeah, called the Joa, Lord Buddha statue, okay, which we've been to, some of us have been to together with Rinpoche. So he stood in front of this statue and he said, Lord Buddha, you know, you and me, we used to be the same, but you made an effort, you achieved the realizations, and I didn't, I'm still here, a stupid one, you know. So please now I'd like to become like you. So this is what it means like this, yeah, okay. 5 fingers on each side. We need to develop 5 wisdoms and purify the 5 elements, yeah? Like here in our temple. What's it showing? We need to transform our 5 negative emotions, ignorance, desire, hatred, pride, and jealousy, yeah? Into 5 wisdoms, and we need to purify our 5 elements. 10, you know. Fortunately, we have 5 fingers on each hand. It just works nicely, yeah? Put together, yeah? We need to achieve the state of awakening, Buddhahood, yeah? So Chag Sel actually means I want to become a Buddha, you know? So this is why we do it. And also we do like this because the energies gather into the heart. There's more feeling, okay? So anyway. Look, Buddhism is from Asia. It's a different culture. It's not European, sorry to say, yeah? It was a different way of thinking, different planet, yeah? So we are brought up, most of us, yeah? With a different set of cultural expectations and backgrounds which we have to leave behind, you know, to understand, well, not leave behind, but okay, see what's good in our culture, let's say. But we need to understand Buddhist culture within the context of Buddhism, not in the context of Judeo-Christian tradition, you know, because it's not all whatever tradition we might be in or none, you know. So each tradition you need to see for what it is and don't, you know, because we have all these assumptions that we think we know stuff. Because somebody taught us something when we were like 5 or something, you know? Yeah? But anyway, so Chag Sel means that I want to improve, you know? Yes? I acknowledge I'm not perfect, something to do, but I want to elevate myself. I know you've got it, so please bless me. Bless, also blessing, yeah? Jin Lab, it means please inspire me, actually, you know? Lab means like a wave, okay? So we say inspiration because please send me positive energy so I can become like you, you know, yeah? What we're actually saying, you know? Anyway, so prostration, okay? Chag Selwa, I want to become like you, like the Jungle Book, yeah? Yeah? So it says, okay, I prostrate to you, yeah? Who with the simple touch of the Myrobalan plant, you pacify the fires of the deepest hells and transform them into the nectars into a lotus lake. Yeah, this is a very super famous prayer of the Medicine Buddha, which is from the Medicine Buddha Sutra. Actually, the prayer is much longer than that, but Rinpoche just put the first line, yeah? But if you like, there's a much longer prayer. Very beautiful one, yeah? So, it's like actually very deep meaning, no? Many people are like in some kind of hell, aren't they? Emotionally, socially, physically. They're in a war or whatever. They're suffering many kinds of pain, no? So, Medicine Buddha can pacify all these kind of emotional and spiritual and physical pains and suffering. Dug Nyel, which we say suffering, is physical pain and suffering, so it can pacify both, okay, mental and physical suffering, yeah? Anyway, so it's a very, very famous, super famous traditional prayer of the Medicine Buddha. This is the first line, yeah? So then it continues. Actually, English is there now, isn't it? Yeah? I'm reading the Italian, yeah? Please, can you make it a bit bigger, please, the prostration? Then maybe I'll see if I can find it here, yeah? Can you make it a bit bigger? Then I can read it, yeah? On the left page. Yeah, okay, fantastic, yeah? Okay. To you who can cool the burning fires of the deepest hells through the smallest touch of your myrobalan plant, transforming into lotus pools, I make prostration. This first verse of this super famous prayer from ancient India. Then it continues, to you, the assembly of protectors of the degenerate and impure beings of the Kali Yuga, with body, speech and mind, I humbly prostrate. Like I recognize you have these qualities, I want them, yeah? What they say in Buddhism is like, okay, now we have a drought, no? But usually the water of the lake comes from the mountains, yeah? The snow mountains, the glaciers, they melt and the water runs down, and here we have Lago Maggiore and all these lakes, yeah? Okay? If you have a very proud mind, none of the water of inspiration can reach you. You need to be on, to get some water, if you're up on the top of a glacier anyway, unless you boil it, you can't have, there's no water, no? You need to have water, you need to be below the glacier, yeah? Below the mountain, yeah? Down, yeah? So if our mind is a little bit open and receptive, we can get something. And people who are super proud, I know, kind of arrogant, they're not open, yeah? So they can't grow, they can't change, yeah? So it means like that, yeah? So in the Lamrim it says, Lord Buddha is the supreme doctor, the Dharma is the supreme medicine, the Sangha are the nurses and therapists, yeah? Putting the Dharma in the practice is the way to become cured of my disease, yeah? My mental disease, yeah? Actually also we have a healing section for also physical diseases, they have a section on that, yeah? So basically, everybody who didn't understand reality is sick, yeah? Okay, so we're all sick, no problem, yeah? So it's just like, it's okay that we have something wrong. It's not a shame, yeah? And then we want to grow and evolve. But it's like, for example, many people, they don't want to go to the doctor ever, yeah? Okay, because they don't want to acknowledge there might be something, check there's something wrong or not, no? Yeah, okay, so it's a little bit like the same. First we need to be open enough to, to see, okay, yes, for sure there's something wrong, but there's a method I can apply, to become more peaceful, more healthy, more happy, yeah? But first step is to acknowledge that, okay? But anyway, so you, the assembly of protectors of the degenerate and impure age of beings of the Kali Yuga. So we talked about this the other day. The Kali age is our age. Everything's falling to pieces, the environment. Well, just read a newspaper, It's a bit depressing, highly depressing, isn't it, yeah? Wildfires, global warming, overpopulation, war, extra bigger nuclear bombs that can destroy the planet in one instant. I could go on, but no need, no. This is definitely the Kali Yuga. If it was just, anyway, it's really, really depressing reading the news, no? Yeah. Rinpoche, like Genshin Rinpoche used to say, okay, read the news, okay, a little bit, but don't spend all your time obsessing about that, because all you will feel is miserable, yeah? What we need is to look for, if you need to read news, look for a news that gives some solution, yeah? Like, for example, yesterday I was reading the newspaper. Like, now we have a drought, no? So we always need to look for the good news, yeah? Like in Spain, no? Now they have a new system of irrigation where they put all their tubes under the earth, so then it's not evaporating, yeah? So then it's 70% better than even the tubes putting the dripping for the trees, So actually we have many solutions to deal. Actually, we have all the solutions we need for climate change. We just need to stop being selfish and apply them, no? Isn't it, yeah? On a personal and collective level, yeah? But anyway, so always need to look for the good news. That was an important, important advice of Rinpoche, yeah? Not just not just obsess about all the negative and get more and more depressed and miserable, yeah? Yeah? But anyway, it's true, we are in the Kali Yuga, but anyway, we know, yeah? We need to do something individually and collectively, yeah? Then it says, I offer prostration to the assembly of the 7 medicine Buddhas, the 7 Supreme Healers, with complete energy and power to heal the 404 types of diseases caused by imbalances of the wind, bile and phlegm humours, yeah? So, Rinpoche La, all Buddhas used to call Supreme Healers, yeah? Now this is, of course, is not putting down any other healers. There's many incredible healers. In fact, many famous and important and brilliant healers came here to visit Rinpoche over the years, some really amazing people, yeah? Of course, but what Rinpoche meant is, of course, there's all these wonderful relative systems of healing, yeah? But he said on top we need something else, Like, we have one friend, yeah, who works for the World Bank, who's an environmentalist. And when he first met Rinpoche, actually I was there, yeah, we met him at a conference somewhere, I don't know, in New York or somewhere, yeah. And Rinpoche said, what do you do? And he said, oh, I'm an environmentalist, yeah. And they said a bit about what he did, and then Rinpoche said, do you want to be Rinpoche said, that's okay, but do you want to be a 200% environmentalist, yeah? Yeah, he said, this friend said, I'm 100% environmentalist. And Rinpoche said, okay, but you need to be 200% environmentalist. And he said, what you need on top is like the missing part, you need to develop the spiritual side, yeah? Then together with all the healing methods and technology you're using, you become really a true environmentalist. So this is the point of view of Tibetan medicine, no? To become a true healer, of course you need to know about medicines and diet and diagnosis and therapies and, all that kind of stuff, yeah? Endless, yeah? But also you need a spiritual point of view, yeah? Okay? This is something that maybe is a little bit missing in the modern society, because in our medical schools in the modern society it's separated, no? The spirituality and the medical practice, yeah? Okay? Because of our tradition since the Enlightenment, I don't know, they're very good at fixing the body. Like, I don't know, if you break your knee, they can fix it, no, or whatever, yeah? Emergency medicine's fantastic, but I don't know, it's a bit like taking yourself to a garage, isn't it, yeah? Nowadays there's a more holistic movement, isn't there, Because medicine is taught, like, by parts, isn't it, yeah? In a medical school. It's not all... They don't look at all the connections between everything, like they do in Asian medicine, yeah? So anyway, so the Buddhist point of view is all this wonderful healing technology, fantastic, but on top we need some spiritual energy. Then we can heal the mind, let's not say the spirit, but anyway, we can heal the mind on many different levels, the mind and the emotions, and then we can truly become healed, yeah? So when we talk about healing, there's so many levels, yeah? Actually, by healing, truly we mean to get out of samsara and heal the mind and achieve nirvana and awakening, yeah? That is actual healing, yeah? So, all the time, people are, of course, we want physical healing because we're sick, yeah? Because our body and mind's gone out of balance. But sometimes, one day, of course, the body is going to fail, They say in the Tibetan medical teachings, we have 5 elements, yeah? So they say our body is like, if you got 5 poisonous snakes and put them in a pot, yeah? Big pot, and put a lid on it, yeah? What is going to happen is these 5 snakes are going to, like, fight. Also, they get hungry now, then they start to fight each other, and they're going to eat each other, yeah? And finally, the biggest, strongest snake is going to kill and eat all the others. So this is like our body, yeah? We have 5 elements, yeah? Which manifests the physical structure of our body and its process. But one day, yeah, the elements will become unbalanced, and one day one element will destroy the others, and we'll get sick and we will die, yeah? That's unfortunately the prediction of our future, yeah? But, yeah? So dying is not a failure, okay? Dying is natural, okay? many people get healed when they die, you know, yeah. Of course, all of us, we want to live as long, to be healthy and have a good quality of life for as long as possible. But Lama Ganchen was a healing Lama, okay? So I saw come thousands and thousands of people to see him, okay? Who were sick in body and mind and spirit and emotion, you know. Okay, some of them, like we gave this story at the beginning of this course of this Italian lady, Giussi Gardenghi, who invited Rinpoche to Italy, no? Who had incurable cancer, and Rinpoche healed her, and she lived 26 years, 3 months longer than the Italian doctors said she would, okay? Finally, she passed away in Bologna, I think in 2018 or 2019, okay, yeah? So sometimes this is possible, yeah, but... Okay, but it's not always like that. Some people get healed emotionally, you know. Some people get healed in their death process. There's many, many levels of healing. Everybody has their own process. It's individual, you know. So we need to see healing in that context, yeah, okay? You know, so also Medicine Buddha, by the way, is super powerful and recommended for the dying and for the dead, yeah? Because, life doesn't finish at death, then the mind is going on. So we have many, many, many Medicine Buddha practices for the moment of death, after death, funerals related to Medicine Buddha, yeah? It's one of the main, in Mahayana Buddhism actually, in China and India and the Buddhist world, one of the most common Buddhist funerals is together with Medicine Buddha, yeah? So Medicine Buddha will take care of you now, when you're healthy, when you're sick, when you're old, when you die, and after death, okay? Yeah. So it says, we request the assembly of the 7 Medicine Buddhas who have full energy to heal the 404 types of diseases caused by imbalances of wind, bile, and phlegm, yeah? So, you have 3 energies, yeah? Yeah? Hot, cold, and wind, yeah? Okay? Yeah? Male, female, and from our parents, no? Our parents' genetic material, yeah, and our own mind, which takes rebirth there, yeah. Then this is all in here, by the way. First, we are born like this, as like a yogurt with emotional problems, yeah, inside our mother's womb, yeah, bad-tempered yogurt, yeah, and then gradually the body grows up, yeah. Now, one thing I find very interesting, I must say, is like in these Tibetan medicine, which goes back to Indian medicine. Of course, you know, they knew the latest, everybody can see, you know, when a baby is almost ready, you know, what it looks like. But they have also images of things you can only see with a microscope, yeah? Yeah? Like the first stages, you know, the first few weeks and months of when the embryo's growing, yeah? So they have like very detailed images of that. So how could they see? I mean, did they have like super eyes, or did they have, maybe had a microscope or something, you know? Yeah, really incredible. We always think like, oh, you know, like in the 18th century we developed microscopes and we did this. But actually, basically everything that we are discovering has already been discovered, you know, previously. But we kind of forgot because we had a dark ages, you know, in our Kali Yuga, yeah? It's true, no? Like, for example, even this thing now, yes, they launched that James Webb Space Telescope, yeah, okay? Very beautiful, no? Going back to the 13 billion years ago, yeah, okay? Seeing this light from ancient galaxies. So if you look in the Buddhist text, it says the universe started 3 kalpas ago, which if you put into modern terms is 14 billion years ago. So it's like, how did they know, you know? Yeah? So they knew incredible things that we are discovering, yeah? Yeah, we think I find this really funny to think about, actually, because, you know, I studied science at school and everything, and I went to university first to do physics, and then I changed my mind, you know, and here I am. But anyway, yeah. We have this idea of technology, don't we? Progress, you know, in the 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th century, and we got this and we got that, and we're much better, and la la la. But they already had all these things before, but then, okay, our societies collapsed and we lost it, you know. So this is why they talk about cyclic societies, yeah, okay? So we need to have a little bit more humility, actually, our modern society, yeah? We're not every generation always thinks they're the first ones, no? To discover everything, the first and the only and the best, but it's not true, no, is it, yeah? Interesting, no? Anyway, so I'm digressing, yeah, sorry. So the 404 diseases caused by imbalances of wind, bile, and phlegm. So we are born, our mind, yeah, our very subtle wind and mind. When we die, no? It's not like the mind leaves the body, it's like the body leaves the mind, actually. It's like, whoop, it's like, you know, it's not like the bird leaves the nest, it's like the nest falls away from the bird and you have to, you know, like here, no, the Garuda, yeah? This is the symbol of this, yeah? Like at the moment of death, you just go, you know, soar into the space, yeah? You know, if not, anyway, if not, you just the nest and you have to do something, yeah? Yeah? Or anyway, something is going to happen, yeah? So, okay, the body disintegrates at the time of death, but some subtle part of the mind continues, the very subtle wind and mind, yeah? Then it passes through what we, well, for normal people, yeah? Like 99.9999% of people goes through what we call the bardo, intermediate state between death and birth, which is like dreaming, yeah? So what you dream depends what's in your own mind, so you can predict what your bardo will be like based on your obsession now. So if you're obsessed about something, that's what you will see, no? Yeah, it's easy to see, no? Yeah, you know, or imagine you don't have the external world, and you're just stuck in your dreams, yeah? So anyway, the projections of your mind manifest, good or bad, yeah? So we have many guides and things to help people. Finally, you will be attracted to your future parents. So actually, according to the Lama, anybody could be our parents, yeah, because we have karmic connection with everybody. So, but it depends, you know, obviously they need to be in a relationship and certain factors need to be available and blah, 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 certain factors, yeah, okay. So one of the many people that could be our parents, yeah, we are attracted to them, yeah, and our mind, our parents are making love, no, and we dive in, yeah, and it's like, this is like diving into a swimming pool without any water and you bash your head, yeah, the shock of re-entering into the physical, yeah, yeah, that's why we don't remember, yeah, very well, some people remember actually, but not many people remember much, yeah, from the other lives. And then it all starts again, yeah, samsara, the wheel of life, you know. Yeah, due to our craving, our grasping, our compulsion, yeah, we can't stand the clear light, yeah. We don't want the clear light, we want cappuccino, we want shoes, we want a mortgage, no, clear light, bliss, no, you're all right, thank you. I want stress, I want to work all my life, I want to pay taxes, let me have it. Give me problems, I can't wait. So we're compelled by our delusions, yeah, to take rebirth in a samsaric form, and it all starts again and again. This is our story of our sad story of our life till now, okay? Yeah? Yeah? If we were more smart, we could say, you know what? Why should I want again taxes, problems, sickness, old age, corrupt government, famine, war? You know what? I could do better, but we never think like that. We think, no, let me have it. I can't stand the purity of my own mind. Yeah? But anyway, bit by bit we will improve, yeah? Okay? That's why we're training in all this, yeah? Okay? So then we take rebirth, yeah? When our mind enters our parents' sperm and ovum, the body grows up, the three humours develop, yeah? Please buy this book, it's all explained here. Then I don't have to read it out, yeah? Because actually we don't have that much time, actually, you know? So we put a lot of, actually first we went to all the classes and then we write down and edit and then translate. So please do buy it. That's what we made it for you specially, yeah? So here there's a section explaining about the development of our bodies in the mother's womb, yeah? Okay. Anyway, so grow up the three hot, cold systems, the elements, organs of the bodies grow up. We are born, yeah? Okay. Although actually we are born when we're conceived, actually. But anyway, that's another story. We're born when we come out of our mother's womb, yeah, okay? And it all starts again, you know, samsara, again and again and again and again. We make a mess, make a casino, yeah? So, when we say, like, I don't know, I did this and I got sick, yeah? I don't know, I ate I don't know, what did I eat? Let's say I ate 20 kilos of tortellini and now I feel really sick, yeah, for example, or whatever, you know, yeah. I eat too much ice cream, I couldn't help it and I feel sick, whatever, yeah, okay. Actually, of course, there is some physical condition, you know, if I eat that, if I eat loads of cold things, it will affect my health, that's for sure. If I eat loads of, chili, whatever, junk food, it's all in the book, yeah, about diet, yeah. Of course, it will affect our elements, our health, but why did I want to do it? It's something in our mind, isn't it? So beyond, I ate the wrong things, I went out on the beach and I cooked myself and now I'm feeling sick and I've got sunburn and so on, yeah? It's like, what is going on in our minds to make us do it, yeah? So this is what Buddhism, one of the things that Buddhism thinks about is this. What on earth motivates me to behave like that, yeah? What subconsciously is driving me to make myself ill, and unhappy and miserable, yeah? So there's many levels of healing of the mind, the underlying things, like, why do my relationships always fail, Because I have this unfulfilled emotional need and I always get that kind of person and, so on and so on, yeah, okay? So it's like, we always let's say, put the fault, the blame in the outer world, don't we? Oh, if I just fix that, everything would be okay, But Buddhism is like, okay, for sure something we need to do out there, but also what's going inside of me that I keep on doing that, So we need to heal inside as well, we need to heal the mind, yeah? So there's many, many levels of things we need to heal in our mind, but basically unknowing, desire and hatred are the three forces that create illness, makes us ill, okay? On many, many different levels, yeah? Now, when we make ourselves ill, if we eat something that's like bad, the next day we vomit, but usually it takes quite a long time for us to make ourselves ill, yeah? Because energies build up within the body. Like, let's say if I eat loads and loads and loads and loads of Parmesan cheese, I like Parmesan, it's really nice. Yeah, and then gradually I'm eating loads of Parmesan, and then gradually this phlegm quality is building up in my body, and then I get problems, with my joints, my digestion, cold feeling, Some problem is coming, yeah, okay? It comes gradually, yeah? It accumulates, and then the sickness manifests at the end, yeah? Yeah? So, it's not like these things are not immediate. So this is part of the problem, is that we can't really see it. If I do that and it's not immediate, what the problem is, yeah? Okay? So we're a process, no? Yeah? A dynamic process. So what we eat, the energy builds up and creates health or sickness. Our emotions, build up and create health or sickness, yeah? Everything is a dynamic process, yeah? And that's why everything we do matters, yeah? This is one of the ideas of karma, isn't it? Karma just means action, cause and effect, no? And we tend to think, if nobody saw me, it's okay, yeah? Because you have this concept of God is watching you. Somebody told you when you're 3 years old, God is watching you, yeah? Yeah? And God knows what you're doing, yeah? And all this kind of idea, So if somebody's not watching you, you got away with it, is the idea, no? In that kind of culture, yeah? But in Buddhism, we don't think like this. We think, whatever I do, it comes back to me, Okay, maybe not tomorrow, but everything's building up, Everything's a process, I'm responsible for my own health, my own happiness, yeah? Okay, I'm not saying the world is okay, yeah? But within whatever's going on, I can choose, my response, my emotional response, and I can do something, yeah? Yeah? So I have a great agency in how I live, how I think, what I do, I'm not helpless, I'm not a victim, yeah? So this is an very important thing in Buddhism, yeah? We are responsible, yeah? Yeah? Of course, we can say, like, for example, everything's polluted, yeah? So of course I'm getting sick, but still, we can do something about it for our own health, can't we, yeah? We can choose how we want to live, how we want to think, Within each one has the own limitation of the possibility of how much money you've got, where you live, your education, your culture, but still we can do something, no? If we have the right peace education. So, anyway, this is huge subjects, yeah? Okay? So, from our unknowing, our desire and hatred, is manifesting gradually, slowly, not one day, 1 month, 1 year, 30 years, 50 years. It's coming different sicknesses of heat, of cold, and of nervousness, yeah, wind, bile, and phlegm, yeah, okay, that manifest physically and emotionally in our body, yeah. So if we understand, okay, one is to heal the emotion, which is what the meditation is for, and one is to remove the condition that is making us sick, yeah, okay. So if we know, for example, if every time we go out and drink a whiskey, we get a headache. Finally, after many headache, we think maybe I should stop drinking the whiskey, no? Yeah, yeah. We have to remove the condition, yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, and okay, then I do something else better for my brain and so on, or maybe, yeah. So it goes, so the one is remove the condition, change the condition of health, yeah. The other is to work on the underlying emotion, so there's, yeah, which we in Buddhism call the cause, yeah, okay. So there's different levels of healing, okay. So lots of interesting things to do. So anybody, I think, no, of course, I don't need commission. I'm very happy, delighted, but please buy this book. Yeah? No, really, because so many. Also, I have this in my house since many years, and I actually do look at it sometimes. You know, also when I'm not feeling well, tells me exactly what I should do, and I think, oh, I'm not eating the right thing, and also anyway. Now we'll talk about this another time. Yeah. In the Tibetan medicine, it's individualized for you. So just because somebody else or a celebrity is having one diet doesn't mean it's any good for you, because they have a different biotype, yeah? So it's a very holistic system, yeah? It's like, it doesn't matter what that celebrity is endorsing, you know? Or even my friend is eating. It's what do I need? And this is, we can do the quiz, find out what's our biotype, and then we can look what's good for me, yeah? And it's probably what I need for me is completely different from what somebody else needs and what they say is good. It doesn't matter. It's what is food should be used as a medicine, right? Yeah, this is the Buddhist point of view. We need to eat, yeah. If we eat too much and exaggerate, we become unhealthy, yeah. But food should be a medicine to sustain our life, you know, yeah, to give us energy, and then we can do things for ourselves and the others, you know. We can contribute to society. So why not use food as a medicine? Yeah. So here is how to use food as a medicine. Yeah. So don't read what's on the internet. Yeah. All kinds of our time. There's many confused way of thinking. Okay, each one free, of course, but this is an interesting system that works. Yeah. Okay. So please think about it, read it, and then try. You know, experiment, see if it's helping you. Okay. Anyway, now it's 1:25. Now we need to stop. We will continue tomorrow afternoon, because tomorrow Lama Michelle Rinpoche is going to teach in the morning and I will teach in the afternoon, okay? Anyway, so we continue tomorrow, yeah? So please, Camila, can you go to the end and we do the dedication prayers, yeah? Okay? Anyway, we have some days, so hopefully we can go through this sadhana and comment as much as we can. I mean, like I say, it's huge. This is just the beginning, a huge subject, but we do our best, yeah? Get some feeling, So when we do the practice, we really at least understand something, and then we get the experience, and then we really understand something, okay? Dumichi we se wa to wa na de mula sangye men le ku Sawato ne chi da pel chom de chi me rizi nyo du to pa sho Lama concho son la kyap su chi Rani la sa do nil su ne cho Do na cho su nye cho da dan do Ge cho ho kundu ji shin do Dona diso nampa gewe so jine sapane hinyo duda menki kolo sudana shana gen. This we change it. Men la shinka hangyune la mehelangi rimpata shisho. Jesu la me kutsera tenchin nan katrin le chuchu ge padan, lo san tempe drome sa suhungi, dro we oneself tatunekyo. Ke wa kuntu yanta lama dan, drel me chuki pela lon chuchin, Sadan lanki ante razone, doje he changi gopanyo du. Shi desem chorim poshe, magye pahana ge gyuchi, ke panyam pahame pahadan, gone he gone to pelwasho. Janchu sehem chohorim poshe, magye pahana ge gyuchi, ke panyam pahame pahatan, gone he gone to pelwasho. Ni modele hesendele, ni me kuhyantele shin, ni senta hatu de helepel, kunjo sungi jingi, kunjo sungi nudruso, kunjo sungi tashisho. At dawn or dusk, at night or midday, may the three jewels grant us their blessings. May they help us to achieve all realizations and sprinkle the path of our lives with various signs of auspiciousness. All'alba, al tramonto, di notte durante il giorno, possono i reggioeli concederci loro benedizioni, possono aiutarci a ottenere tutte le realizzazioni e con spiritual sentieri della nostra vita con molti segni di bonus. Thank you all very much. Bello, no? Beautiful, no? So many beautiful... Actually, you know, Rinpoche, Lama Genshin, when he was preparing all these different book and sadhana, he said, do this, many images, yeah? Okay, first it started just with me trying to draw something, then we got many other better artists than me, you know? So now we can present actually what Rinpoche, the images that Rinpoche wanted, you know? Yeah? Beautiful, no? Bello, yeah? So nice, no? Anyway. These images, actually, we're sharing on our Signal group, on our retreat group. You're welcome to have them if you want to download, yeah? Very welcome if you like. Also, like I say, we're making a, I don't know what you call it, DVD, MP4, something, yeah? Audio-visual thing. Tiziana, who presently is in Beijing, yeah? She's putting, we have many recording of Rinpoche doing Medicine Buddha, yeah? So we're, like with the self-healing, like making peace of the environment, we're making something like that, you know, with the lotuses, with the symbols. It'd be super beautiful, yeah, okay? You know, sorry we didn't finish before, but we were running after Rinpoche. Now he left, okay, he told us what to do, so he said, please finish, you know? For me, what exactly we didn't finish, so we're doing in honor of Rinpoche, okay? So very soon we have beautiful DVD of this, Medicine Buddha, okay? Anyway, see you all later. Have a nice lunch, okay? Thank you very much for listening. Thank you, yeah? You know, and all of you can heal and help others in one way or another, even if it's just being kind. So whatever capacity of healing you have, please use, you know? Yeah? Each one, you have a different one. So Rinpoche said, you know, please, whatever capacity you have, use it, you know? Yeah? Please, yeah? Okay? Don't think somebody else should do it. We need to do. So if you have this much, do this much. If you have that much, do that much. If you have that much, do that. It's like self-healing, no? Do that much, okay? See you all later. Have a nice lunch. See you. Thank you. Yeah.